How's it going, everybody? This is my first time going live, but we're gonna give it a shot. I don't know if this webcam really adequately gives you guys an idea. It's kind of fuzzy and grainy. Um, I'm not talking to anybody right now. Obviously, I'm waiting for people to join, but I'm shopping for some new cars, and I'll be really curious what you guys think about some of the stuff I'm looking for, and maybe you guys can share some of the stuff you're looking for too. I wasn't completely prepared for this, so let me grab my water and my coffee, and I'll bop right back in. Boom. All right. Looks like there's a couple people here. This is my first time, like I said. So if you guys want to throw something in the chat, if you're seeing this, I'll know like that I'm doing this right. And if not, then I'm gonna have to figure life out because apparently I'm just computer illiterate, even though I'm 42 years old. You'd think I'd know. I see nothing. See nothing at all. Let me try using the additional computer. You guys give me a minute. Just bear with me. I'm going to be right back. I wasn't really prepared for this. It's a little impromptu. I'm going to grab a water and some stuff so I don't die. But I assure you, we've got some interesting stuff to talk about. Some of the cars I'm shopping for perpetually. Some of the cars I'm shopping for right now. And I'll be curious what some of your feedback is on this kind of stuff. So 1 minute. All right. Well, I still don't see any comments, and I don't know how to see them. So I'm firing up my desktop computer here. So hopefully I can see something. And looking forward to a lot of the questions you guys might have. And there we go. All right. So now I can see the man, the legend. That might be a bit of an overstatement, but I'm flattered, needless to say. So what am I shopping for, Yoke? A little bit of everything. So the vehicles I'm always shopping for, and that includes now and forever, is Lincoln Town Cars. And for me, the ones I'm always really looking for is 90 to 97, although I'm really trying to find a 96, 97. Some of the 95s have OBD2 as well. My last 95 did. But I did see a really sweet one today. It's a silver car with a maroon Landau on the very back with maroon interior on the BBS mesh wheels. And 4,500 bucks. It's basically a 2-owner car, so, and it's not far from me. So I already talked to the guy, and I'm kind of tempted to go take a look. Panthers are just too good, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to refrain from maybe buying something that I shouldn't, which would be an R129 Mercedes SL. I've got a real affinity for those cars. I don't know what it is. I know that they're pretty robust, but they need maintained. But obviously, Panthers, you know what I mean? It's hard to beat a Panther in terms of being bulletproof, and they're so comfortable. So, shopping for Panthers. Also, keeping my eye out for, believe it or not, like if I could find a cheap GMT 400 Escalade, that would be one that would get me really excited. But those are kind of like few and far between, you know. Don't see a lot of those, and they were pretty short expectancy or short lifespan. I think it was 2 years, 98, 99, maybe 2000. So, but I'm hoping for some questions and some interactions. I do see a couple things so far. Again, I'm not a big channel, so I don't expect a lot. Looks like I've got 15 people in here. That's great. For anybody who just joined, welcome. Kind of curious what you guys are shopping for as well, though. What kind of stuff do you guys, when you go on Marketplace, what are you looking for? You know what I mean? How's the Lincoln? Well, the Lincoln's great. And I haven't, obviously, you probably noticed, I haven't made a video in a while. The weather's spotty. Last week it was 60. How's it going? How's it going, old school? Shout out to my Canadian fam. Lincoln's doing good. Lincoln is running great. I've actually put about 500 miles on that car since it's been back on the road, and it's gone really well, like eerie well. So I got the new tires on it, which are GT Radial brand, kind of like made in Thailand. GT Radial Max Tours. They're only like $300 at Simple Tire, and I put some Jones full bore mufflers on them, which is basically like a Flowmaster 40. So the car actually sounds kind of mean. I'll upload a clip at some point, and I'll do some stuff here soon with that. You know, it's not for everybody, but it's pretty mild. The car still has cats, so it just gives it like, it sounds like an LX 5.0 Mustang or a GT, and it's subtle. But Lincoln's doing great, man. No complaints, dude. I'm in love all over. Let's see. Mercedes SLs are beautiful. I agree. You know, the 129s for me, those are kind of like the 90 to 02s. Those are a sweet spot because they're a really good buy. They're very cheap to buy. And the critical thing is obviously like ownership history with anything, but especially with those. You don't want to do the deferred maintenance, but they're very classy, elegant, understated, and comfortable. And I just love the look. Believe it or not, I actually know where there's a R129 SL, and it's a 90 300 SL. Before it was SL, it was 300 SL, and it's a 6-cylinder manual, dogleg 5-speed. They made about 100 of those, so I'm not going to give that location away, but it's within 45 minutes of me, and I've been working on buying that car for 2 years, and hopefully someday that happens. If it does, you'll definitely know. Do I like old Hondas? Hell yeah, I love Hondas. Dude, yeah, absolutely. Hell, all the way through the RSX types S stuff. I mean, in the early 10s, like 2010, 2012 SIs, like I love Hondas. Matter of fact, one of the cars I've been looking for is a last gen Prelude, not the new shit, the junk one or whatever, the hybrid thing, but like not a Type SH maybe, but like an H22 late Prelude, because they aren't cheap, but they are a great car. I love Hondas. Hi again from Canada. Are you looking for a rare car or something easy to work on? You know, that's a tough thing because I used to look kind of for rare cars, but I'm really looking for something that I can get out and use, something that I can enjoy. And I guess reliability is a huge factor for me at this point, because I want to be able to drive the hell out of my cars, and I want to make it as easy as possible. So, I mean, rare and easy to work on, they can overlap. Generally, they don't. But yeah. So, but I would say between the two, easy to work on. Yeah, it's got to be something I can do here. 88 to 95 is a sweet spot. I agree. There's a lot of good stuff in that era. I mean, 96 is nice just because of the OBD2 factor. You know, it does make it a little easier to diagnose, but I do have access to OBD1 scan tools because my brother's a mechanic, and obviously there's always ways around it. So, no, I agree. Honda's rust for sure, obviously. Even with the late 90s, early 2000s Preludes, man, I mean, it can be painful, really painful, you know, and you really got to get under them. I mean, it's not like the old days. When I was in high school in the late 90s, early 2000s, CRXs and stuff like that, those were still starting to rust then even, obviously. But clean ones were much more plentiful. You didn't have to pay that premium. Yeah, 88 Civic. Not a damn thing wrong with that. You have a 90 CRX SI. Dude, I'm sure you've probably commented that before, have you? I don't know. I feel like I would remember that because that's the kind of car I would be beating on somebody's door for if I saw it on Marketplace, just because. Especially the SI. Which engine was the SI at that point? Was that the 125 horse 1.6? Or was it a 1.5? You'll have to refresh my memory, old school. I don't remember. 109 horse, 1.5. That's plenty. That's plenty. Oh, 1.6. That's plenty, man. That's plenty. Civic Type R EP3s, man. Yeah. Only in the UK and Japan. Dude, I get it. All the VTEC stuff, the high revving stuff, just because we all know, like not everyone knows, but we know, all of us people, anybody who probably follows the channel, peak Honda is behind us. Like a new SI, certainly a good car, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's not the same. It's a 1.5 turbo. It's torquey. It's whatever, but it's not that engaging VTEC, 8,000 RPM thing. And just doesn't hit the same. That's why I've been looking at those H22 Preludes, but they're very expensive. There's a salvage title 2001 near me, and it's really clean. It's like 65,000 miles, but they still want 12 grand. And the accident was a long time ago, but even so, like, I can't pay that. So I don't know. It probably won't ever happen, but if the right deal came along. Minivan shifter, it looked comfy though. Yeah, I mean, not a damn thing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Ladas. So definitely a niche thing here in the USA. Like Lada Nivas, Ladas as a whole, we don't see those much. How's it going, Callie? Yeah, we don't really have Ladas much in the United States. I mean, I'm sure there's people that have them, but that would be like way collective group. Like we have way more Yugos than Ladas. I would dare to say there's probably more Trabants in the United States maybe than Ladas, and Trabants are pretty weird. You guys probably, maybe some of you I know know what a Trabant is, the two-stroke little oil burner unique thing. They're cool though, but I don't know. I bet you a Saab Sana is another car that's kind of cool, but it's like one of those niche things where it's like, I don't really want to deal with it, but like it's got this cool factor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the communist Trabant, that's the one. Yeah, and I mean, they're bare bones two strokes. Like there's a neat factor about them, but also there's a real pain in the ass factor, and the fact that it's like it's never going to be fun to drive. You just have to love it. I think honestly, a Yugo would be like a sports car compared to a Trabant. Like, but so those are vehicles I'm looking for always. Another vehicles I'm always looking for is first gen Probe GTs with the 2.2 Mazda turbo. It's like 145 horse, 190 torque. So that would also be the MX-6 GTs and the 626 turbos. But again, like those are pretty hard to find. There's a 626 turbo kind of near me, but it actually has a smoked camshaft, and they want $3 grand because everything's expensive now. Still a lot of dealer sign in Toronto. No shit. 1.7 Neva engine from France to Egypt, where I'm at. It didn't work. Yeah, they don't ship to North Africa. That's another thing. That's a hard thing with international cars. We got the same thing here in the U.S. Obviously, JDM's not quite as bad. Like, we have access to it. But it's, you know what I mean? There's that premium, and you kind of got to know somebody. So that's beautiful. I'm not sure what a Mazda Presidia is. I'm not sure what that is. Is that like a coupe? I'm gonna have to Google that. Do I like Corrados? Come on. Yeah, of course, man. Like I would avoid I think the G60s with a supercharger are cool, but like I would want a VR6. I would want a VR6 obviously manual. Or I think all Corrados are manual. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I would love to find a VR6 Corrado. I always liked those in the day. They were a strong performer, like 178-ish horsepower. They were in that range for the VR6. And, 2,900 pounds. Really nice build quality. They did make auto Corrados. I mean, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen an auto Corrado. That's kind of funny because, like, in the C4 world, the Corvettes, I've had so many. They're all autos. Like, I would say the buy rate on a C4 Corvette manual seemed to be like 25% the whole run at best. It's tragic, which does make me mention the fact that I am always perpetually shopping for C4 Corvettes. I cannot help it. They're such a good car for the money. Like, if you love the styling, if you hate it, that's subjective. But like, you get a lot of chassis. You get a car that pulls, like, honestly, on modern tires, like 0.9 to 0.95 G's in the skid pad. And even with the auto, they're a good cruiser. Even the TunePort car is very torquey. So was the auto not seen as a premium transmission? Well, that's the thing. So C4 Corvette demographic, I believe at that time, the average vet buyer was 55, give or take. I'd have to look at the statistics. But yeah, I mean, it was. And the thing was, like, GM had good ratios in their 4-speed automatic transmissions. They had a 3-to-1 first gear, whereas Ford with the AOD and stuff had a 2.4-to-1. So Ford autos are kind of dogs out of the hole, like the LSC. But GM autos, I mean, they punch. I've had several automatic vets. But at the same time, the manual is way more fun. Out of all the vets I've had, as far as C4s, I've had like 6, and all the manuals happen to be LT4 cars, but way more engaging. I mean, I would love a tune port manual, especially obviously 89 is kind of that sweet spot because you get the 6-speed. First year, the 6-speed. You still got the Atari Dash, but you got the 6-speed. So it's just kind of a cool place. Plus, you got 17-inch wheels that year. Although, you know, nothing wrong with the LT1. I've had LT powered cars. OptiSpark's not a big deal, but I do enjoy those a lot. But, you know, here's a sick one. What do you guys think of this? So this is one car I've been looking at quite a bit lately. I'll be really curious if you guys dog me for this. So I think that these are a sweet deal. 2005 to 2009, so the first generation S197 Mustangs, but curveball, not the 3-valve V8. I'm talking about the base model 4-liter V6. Hear me out. A lot of them have manuals, okay? There's still 210 horsepower. The 4-liter single overhead cam, that's a great engine. They use it in the Explorers. They use it in the Rangers. I know it's a V6 Mustang. Like, it hurts me to say it, but I'm not talking about a performance car or street clout. I'm talking about, like, a comfortable car you can drive daily that you can service. Dude, I see these things with manuals clean all the time, like really clean for like $5,000, $4,000, even maybe $3,500. And they're not bad performers with the manual. I think they run 0 to 60 in the low 7s, 7.3 maybe. 94 Celine yellow, yeah, absolutely. SN95 Celines are very good looking cars. One of my dream cars has always been the I think they had what they call the 351R, which was an absolute beast. It was a 351 Windsor equipped car, and I think those ran actually into well past the time when modular motors were a thing in the Mustangs. But no, I love those things. I love Celines, all generations. As a matter of fact, S197 Celines though, the 05 to 09s, they're kind of fugly, but they're still cool. But they're not. Fox Celines and SN95s and New Edges. Those are good looking cars for sure. Absolutely. So when you guys look at Marketplace, hit me. Like, I know the stuff I look for. Another one. 93 to 96 Cadillac Fleetwoods. I really like the 93s a lot because they have the old school TBI 5.7 with, it's either a 700R4 or 4L60, whatever, the 4-speed automatic. Cool thing about the 93s is they're just the throttle body small block. It's very simple to work on. The LT ones aren't bad. It's just that the TBI 350 is a little bit more bulletproof. Why didn't we get the Barra Straight 6? God damn, I know. You know, I've thought about this all the time, and honestly, in America, you'd have to think pretty hard to think about the number of times a straight 6 was marketed as a performance engine from a U.S. auto manufacturer in the United States. Like the Barra, we all know that's a bad bitch. That's the Australian 2JZ, but we never got it. And you know, it's weird to think about that because in Europe, like BMW, the M cars, the original M's, those were all straight 6s. And Jag for years, the hot straight 6s, like America never invested in that. It's just a cultural thing. You know, Pontiac did that overhead cam 6 in the 60s, and they had kind of a hot version of that with over 200 horsepower. But it was lighter, you know, than a V8 to some degree. Jay Leno has one that he restored very nicely. It's very odd to me. Well, okay, so the Sprint, that's right, the Sprint, yeah, and you could get that in more than just the Firebird. I think I've seen Tempests, or maybe not the high-end Sprint engine, but 89 M3, holy shit, dude, E30 M3, that's royalty. That's royalty. I mean, I'm a universal car guy. I mean, there is very, very few manufacturers that have something I appreciate. I had a BMW M Roadster 99, so it was the S52, and then I also had a 98 528i Sport, so it was the manual with 17-inch BBSs. Sold it in 03. Man, I hate to rub it in your face, but you already know the values on those things are crazy now. I don't even know what those went for in 03. I didn't have the money at that time to even shop for them, but I know they were a lot cheaper than they are now. People really have come to appreciate those for what they are. Those are, honestly, dude, that's peak 3 Series. I it's I'm sorry. For me, that's peak 3 Series. I know the later ones made more power, but I don't care. The E30. The E30 was I used it for work. Oh, I didn't know. Okay, I used to work for BMW in 2000. Okay. You drove a Z8 when they were new? Just kidding. Those cars are sick. What I always found weird about the Z8 was Alpina did make a version, but the Alpina version only had the auto. It was like his marketed luxury specifically. But dude, when the Z8s came out, that was crazy. The throwback to the 507. Like, what a car. You know what I mean? That's like Chrysler was building fucking Prowlers and Chevy's building SSRs. You know, in the retro era, Volkswagen's doing the Beetle, and then Beamer came out with the Z8. That was epic. Like, talk about a Bond car, bro. Out of any non-Aston Martin Bond car, and I love the original Z3 Bond car from GoldenEye or whatever, but that was a epic move. Epic move. Those are pretty strong money now too, obviously, but it goes without saying that's a timeless car. That's something they're never going to build again. A manual transmission BMW convertible. I keep seeing stuff that says BMW is getting ready to get rid of manuals. They're saying the writing's on the wall. And that's from a company whose slogan used to be the ultimate driving machine. It breaks my heart. Get some Panther platforms. Exactly, man. Like I said, dude, there's a 94. I can't screen share. I don't have this set up appropriately, but there's a 95 town car near me. It is silver with a maroon Landau in the back. I'm just going to do it this way like an old man. Whoop. You know, it's got the maroon Landau in the back with the mesh wheels. Look at that beautiful maroon in the back. And boom, maroon interior. You can see a little bit of checking there. He's at $4,450. He seems like a nice guy. It's been in the family a long time. Father-in-law bought it, second owner. It's tempting. So I'm going to talk to him. We'll see what goes on. I'll let it sit for a while. You know what I mean? Yeah, the new Supra. I mean, they're fast. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they made the Supra available with a manual eventually because they did the Z4 or whatever with a manual at the same time. They had like a special version. Most of them are green. But I mean, they don't. I don't like them. I don't like the way they look. Like a Mark IV Supra to me is peak Supra. I take a Mark III. If money wasn't a thing, I would take a Mark III over a new Supra without even thinking. Yeah, 06 plus, handle like Mustangs. My first Panther was 94, love them. You know, I've never had my newest Panther. I think I had an 03 Marauder. That was my newest Panther. That was a pretty rough Marauder. It was a 168,000 mile car that had been treated poorly. I mean, bad. It was pretty bad. It smelled like a blunt. You know what I mean? Obviously, it was pretty rough. I had a 98 town car, but I've never had anything newer. 84 Parisienne. Yeah, I mean that's basically a Luxo Caprice. I had a 79 Bonneville circa 99, so I was pretty young. Actually, I probably had it before I had my license. And 301 V8, whatever. I never got it running. I didn't have a lot of mechanical ability at the time. I wish I did. It was cool. Had fender skirts and everything. Brown with tan interior. Black Chevy Beretta. You know, a Z26 Beretta. If you can find like a 2.8, 3.1 Beretta with a manual, those things have such a nice flat torque curve, and the 60-degree V6 sounds great. Those are genuinely fun because I like Fieros. You know what I mean? I it is what it is. I'm not here to care about being judged. I love Fieros, and Berettas are right up there. They have a really bland interior, but the exterior styling makes up for it. Now, if you get into the the GTZ, GTU, whatever version had the high output quad 4 with 180 horse in a manual, those were actually dirty quick cars. I believe those ran the quarter in the mid-ish 15s for traction, but they trapped, dude. They trapped like 90 or 91 the quarter. They did. Yeah, I mean, Fieros are great. So for me personally, I've had a lot of Fieros. 86 and up. It's got to be the fastback for me. I've had an 86 SE, which wasn't a fastback. It's got to be a fastback. I've had an 86 GT, 87 GT, and an 88 GT. The 88 was a 3.8 supercharged with a GetTrack 5-speed. That was a badass car. That actually sold for like record modified Fiero money. It was during COVID. It was like early 2022. That car sold. Look it up on eBay or something. It was $21,500 that car sold for. I had put it together pretty nice. I did a lot of work to that car. Curious what your take is on K trucks. I think they're legal in Michigan now. Not as powerful as versatile as Ranger, right? So no highway driving. I love them. Most K trucks are only seen as novelty. I agree, man. Yeah, owned a lot of cars, dude. I've had 125, 130. Sometime I have a list of it. Sometime maybe I'll make a video about it, or I'll go live and we'll talk about it. K trucks is tough. So it's like, okay, cool. Let's just forget novelty for a second. We'll address usability. Do I think they're cool? Hell yes, they're cool. From the first time I saw one, they're cool. They have, 4-wheel drive, manual, small, 660cc, 3-cylinder engine or something like that. I think they would happily cruise at 50, 45, 50, and I'm sure they'd probably go 60. I don't know if they're legal in Michigan. I would love to see data that says they objectively are, because I would consider, when I live in a very rural area, I commute to an urban area, but I live in a rural area, and I would drive the shit out of a K truck. Would I buy one new? No, probably not. But around here, used ones, I mean, $5,000-$6,000. It's like, when people I know are looking at side by sides, I always say, hey man, consider these, because all of a sudden you've got cabin, and I think they have heat, right? And I've seen some small ones with plows rigged on them. So yeah, I think they're cool, but I've never really thought about them outside of the novelty factor. I think there might be some level of discomfort in terms of safety, because you know what I mean, like they're death trap. But then again, is it much more dangerous than a Fox Mustang? Probably not. So I hear a noise. Oh, never mind. It's just an automatic cat feeder. That's right. I have a cat, an automatic feeder. Have you seen safety in your knees? Have you seen the 2 Shelby Chargers that have been on eBay for a good bit? I haven't. I know at one point I looked. It seems like, is one of them blue and silver for like in the 20s, like stupid money? Because if so, I might have seen people talking about it in the group and losing their minds, because that's crazy money. I mean, I'm actually thinking about selling mine, which is tough, but the truck's gone. The truck's officially gone. I dropped that off Thursday, so payment free. Paid the lease up a year early. That was fun. Maroon at almost 30K. That's fucking nuts. Fuck that. I'm gonna sell my Shelby. I've got to thin it out. I got 5 cars now, so I've got the Cherokee, the 200SX SER. Obviously, I've got the Fox, the Lincoln, and the Shelby. I love the Shelby so much, though. So we'll have to see come spring. I've got way too much in that car. I mean, it's got a repaint from the belt line up, and it's like, okay, but the car truly is rust free, and it drives like new. I got like 11.3 into it, which is too much. Like, the market's too small. You know what I mean? It's just too small of a market. And if I sell it, realistically, I'm probably going to hope to get 8. And I mean, I hope. But the Turbo Dodge world's a really cheap world. I've been in it for a long time. Insurance. How much does insurance cover? That's a good question. So I have I have 2 different policies. The Mustang has its own policy through Haggerty. That's about $1,000 a year. And that's $17,000 agreed value on that car, just because I don't want to take any chances. Yeah, so that's that premium. So the other cars, though, the Cherokee, the 200SX, the Lincoln, and believe it or not, the Charger, I only have on PLPD. I'm taking a gamble on that one, but it's so expensive to have a collector's policy on that car. I drive it so little. So anyway, it's $815 a year for the Cherokee, the 200SX, the Lincoln, and the Charger on PLPD through Liberty Mutual. $815 a year, and actually $396 of that is Michigan fees, dude. So, and I know this because I just dropped the insurance on the truck. So total, I pay $815 a year for the 4 cars on PLPD, about $1,000 a year for the policy with like, I don't know, 10,000. I put 10,000 miles a year at the Mustang as my policy. We'll see if I put that many miles on it. So 1,800 total per year. if I sold my truck, might take time for another. I know, but dude, 5 cars. Like I literally bought a car hauler, um, just to store the Mustang because my 20 by 30 garage has a Shelby in it and a car capsule. I stored the 200 SX underneath a lean-to in another car capsule in my backyard. Like it's out of hand, dude. Close to 2,000, not cheap. I don't know, for 5 cars for a year, it's not bad. I mean, it's 5 cars. Like a lot of people pay. I mean, the truck was $90 a month, so that alone was almost $1,000 a year just for the one vehicle. But again, without the Mustang, $815 a year. So insurance is cheap. Let's see. Yeah, plus that's still a T1 and original. It is. It is still a T1. It's still original. It's a log intake car, but damn, dude, it drives good. The torque hits nice. 168 foot-pounds on a car that weighs less than 2,500 pounds. That's a no AC car. Like that thing's a stripper. I mean, I think about the only thing they can not have is AC. I don't think they were whatever. Yeah, 1,400 a month, 6 months. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Honestly, I don't know why my insurance is so cheap. I haven't had accidents in a long time. I have good credit. I don't really know. Liberty Mutual came in about half what Progressive did, and I just stuck with it. Have I been following the classic car market? Apparently, it's crashing. Well, the classic car market's a funny thing, right? So you have to obviously look at sale prices and asking prices, and those two things are very different. Like sale prices or asking prices, are still very high, like obscenely high. There's still a lot of people who have bought cars in COVID and are holding on to the ideology that they're worth X amount of money. It's not a thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm seeing cars for sale for longer than I ever have. There's a lot of cars I've been watching on Marketplace that have been for sale for a year. A lot that have been for sale for 6 months. And it's just shitbox old cars for $5 or $6 grand. Like I want a Fairmont wagon. I'm not going to pay $9 grand for an inline 6 Fairmont wagon. So, I mean, I do think it's crashing because people aren't paying the money. And honestly, with the economy the way it is, I think everybody feels kind of uneasy. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't feeling as prosperous as they were, or at least during COVID. So, yeah, I think it's kind of shit in the bed a little bit. 700 Canadian from 88 Civic and 300 from my CRX and our Haggerty. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad at all. It's all about agreed value. And for me, I put a lot of miles on the Mustang policy, like 10,000 and a $17,000 agreed value. But that's with $1,000 deductible. It's still about $1,000 a month. Grundy was a lot cheaper, but they were much stricter about when I could drive the vehicle. They said, to and from car shows and stuff like that, not to work, not for errands, whatever. I want to drive the Mustang as much as I can. So, let's see. The classic car market has always been crashing. Well, I mean, honestly, that's kind of a good point. The classic car market has always been crashing. So it is an interesting thing when you always have to look against inflation. People always forget. They're like, oh, these foxes are pulling MSRP. Honestly, the best ones are. But adjusted for inflation, an LX 5.0 is like a $30,000 car. Adjusted for inflation. Only the best ones are going well beyond that for sure. But like your typical 50,000 mile LX 5.0 isn't even pulling MSRP. Like if someone had bought that, put it in a bubble against inflation, if they had just bought bonds, savings bonds, they'd be better off. You know what I mean? And obviously invested appropriately. Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, the collector car market's a very bizarre thing, but I live in the air. Obviously, I love depreciated shit. That's my favorite shit. Nothing feels better than driving down the road in a car. I'll use my XJR as an example. 2000 Jaguar XJR, supercharged V8, 370 horsepower. They're actually reliable. Look it up. They're good cars. Bought that car for $4,500. It was $72,000 new in 2000. Adjusted for inflation, it's like 130, 140 grand. I'm driving down the road in it for $4,500. Had 170,000 miles on it. Drove like new. It was owned by a famous lawyer from this area, Fred Taylor. He's a DUI lawyer. And hell yeah, dude, it had been maintained immaculately. And I felt like a king just because of the deal. I'm just so cheap. Nothing gets me off like a deal, I guess. That's why I like C4 Corvettes. But yeah, the economy's crap. Manufacturing sucks. Supply and demand's a thing. And, so that's an interesting thing. What do you guys think about muscle car values? You know what I mean? Like, did we all watch Meekum and Barrett Jackson, in 2006, 2007? When shit was going crazy, when the Hemi cars started hitting $1 million and all that stuff. where do you think those cars are going to go in the next 10 years? Do you guys think that those are going to, stay up? Do you think they're going to climb? Do you think they're going to go stagnant, or do you think they're going to drop? I'm kind of curious what you guys think about that. Anybody? Honestly, I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm going to pull an Uncle Tony, and I'm going to rip a dart here. This is just a cigarette. I don't advocate for this, and I'm really sorry if this offends anybody, but we're going to be in here for a while, and this is my office. I do not smoke in my house, but the office has no rules. So we rip darts in the office, and we drink coffee in the office because we're tweaking and talking about cars with our friends. That's what happens. Uncle Tony does it. You guys don't care. So, yeah, I mean, muscle car sales will be overseas. So that's a good point. A lot of this stuff in general, collector car stuff in general. I was watching something the other day. It's crazy how much of this stuff goes to the United Arab Emirates or whatever. Like, the market over there is huge, and that's been going on. I had a friend who sold 1990 Celine number 99, and that was probably in 2020, 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. Anyhow, he had bought it in 2012 for $5,000. Needed a motor. Dude, like, it was a driver quality Celine, but it was a Celine. And I knew the previous owner and the owner before that, actually, and I should have bought it, but I didn't. He had it put together really nice. He sold it for like $14,000, whatever. It went overseas. And that was back then. I think, man, I know I shouldn't smoke. I know. I'm cutting back. It's just when I'm actively engaged in these conversations, especially about cars, which is obviously my favorite thing, it's hard. I'll try to cut back. If for anything, my looks, you know what I mean? I got to maintain that, or else what am I? What good am I? It's my only value. I'm kidding. Luckily, I've never been a feast for the eyes. Yeah, I think the muscle car sales overseas for sure. But I'm curious, like, we all know what's going to go big next, right? Like 80s, 90s stuff that's peaked is going to peak. I think a lot of 90s stuff still climbing. I think the Acura RSX Type S is a one to watch. I think that the best RSX Type S's are a car to watch. What do you guys think about that? Am I crazy? Because I think there will be a time, and I don't think it's going to be long, with the way Hondas have gone, to boost it and, lower RPM and stuff. The RSX Type S is a sexy car, and they perform. Like, they're a badass car. Badass car. I think they're going to pull some money. Integra Type R. I mean, honestly, the RSX Type S, I believe, wasn't that the Integra? Yeah, that was the Integra in Japan. Right. So, I mean, but the Type S RSX is a sick car. I think those are going to go up. I mean, dude, okay, here's one for you. In 2009, I could have bought a red NSX. It was like a 91, whatever, manual, 65,000 miles. It was like $26,000, $27,000. Had I known what I know now, I would have pulled out all the stops to do that, because an NSX is one of my dream cars. RSX is crap handling. I mean, McPherson's Truck versus Double H1, sure. But I mean, still, like, they might not be the best handling thing in the world, but I think they're still going to be good enough to have some fun with some sticky rubber, I think they'd be a fun little car just to buzz around and have some fun with. I mean, like my 200SX SER with the SR20, that's kind of where that would fill in the gap. If I found a really nice RSX or even a decent driver RSX, I don't care how many miles it has, I would buy one. But honestly, the 200SX is pretty fun. It's not great handling. As a matter of fact, the 200SX has a solid beam rear axle, but it still pulled 0.85 Gs in the skid pad in period testing. So S2000, that's a yes, 100% S2000. Yeah, analog cars like that, true VTEC cars, those are going to be one to watch. 100%, dude. My buddy Daniel, he actually has a YouTube channel. It's a Moccasin Driver. He does POV driving and stuff like that. He's got an E36 M3, and he's got an S2000, a yellow one. I think it's AP1, AP2. I think this is an AP2, which is, I think, the one that revs a little less or whatever. But yeah, that's one to watch for sure. I think anything analog, manual, especially high revving, naturally aspirated. I'm going to say just generally naturally aspirated manuals. Like, we aren't there yet, where these things are going to be like short supply, but it's going to come because they're not building them anymore. Like they're just stopping. Like GTI, you can't get a Golf GTI with a manual anymore. You can't get a Golf R with a manual anymore. It's only so long before those things are like really sought after. I don't think it's going to take that long. 10 years maybe. Watch Best Motoring International. The race drivers journalists love the RSX. Yeah, I mean, I think the powertrain of the RSX, excuse me, is one of the big factors. You know, it's kind of the last of that sweet spot. And honestly, they're just a good looking car. They have a nice interior. Even in Europe, they don't have manuals. I'm not sure about the European market, but honestly, I don't know. I can say for certain the U.S. market, yeah, we don't get them anymore. I'd be interested. All right, man. Have fun. Enjoy dinner, man. I appreciate you coming in, and cheers. Have a good one, man. Yeah, the auto market is definitely going to be painful in 10 years. I agree 100%. Honestly, like part of me just wants to bag all the rust-free Cherokees I can, the XJs, dead ass, great motors, everything, because I don't know what I'm going to buy in 10 years, right? So like the cars today, I don't think they're going to last that long. I don't know what people's options are going to be. I think by then they'll pretty much be trying to fully integrate a subscription-based thing. I can't imagine what other way it would go. You know what I mean? Like what car today, other than maybe full-size trucks, are you going to buy in 10 years as a used car? You're not going to buy a Kia K4. You're not going to buy a CVT Trans anything unless you want to put a CVT in it again and again. You know what I mean? I can't imagine. What do you think of Tyler Hoover? You know, I do like, Hoovy, when I first started watching like YouTube a lot, probably 2018, 2019, Hoovy was one of the first channels I really, really got into and loved a lot. Back when he was doing Panther stuff, and matter of fact, he had a Mark 7. It was really shitty. I don't even think it had overdrive. A Mark 8, a bunch of other stuff, and maybe a Roadmaster wagon. I remember when he buried the LeBaron. I enjoyed his channel a lot. I really did. I think he had a lot of fun, but it's just not dogging him out, man. It's the natural progression. You know, he's making big money. He's huge. He had the Discovery Channel deals. He does the stuff at either Barrett Jackson or Mecum. It's like, honestly, he's kind of a big deal now. And so it makes it kind of hard to be relatable when you got a 300 SL in your living room for Christmas. Like, that's unfathomable for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm over here talking about R129 SLs, which are probably the cheapest SL. And yeah, so I can't even relate. But I mean, good for him if he's happy. My biggest fear, though, is to do this stuff and end up like unhappy. I don't want to be a slave to it. I think maybe the position people get into when they get as big as him is they kind of are a slave. They have to up the ante, and they end up having to have these like large loans for these vehicles. And it's very common, and it is a business at his scale for sure. But like having to be like leveraging maybe your properties or other vehicles for money for other vehicles, it would just get so complicated. I think everyone's biggest fear, maybe, or at least mine, is turning your dream into your nightmare. And sometimes I do worry like about him. I mean, it's not a big concern of mine. He's a grown man, but I wonder, divorce too. I do wonder. I hope he's happy. I hope this is what he wanted. And I hope it's not all just a facade, for sure. I hope everything goes good for him. Car Care and the Car Wizard. Yeah, so does the Car Ninja have a YouTube channel? I like him and the Wizard both. The Wizard's smart as hell. A great mechanic. You know what I mean? That guy, I think he's got great taste. He's got the 308, the Ferrari, dude. Oh, yeah, and the Ninja, dude, that guy's awesome. That's the dream mechanic right there. Both those guys. If you've got the money to maintain a car properly, those are the kind of guys you want to take it to. They're just straight up. They want to get the work done, and you can tell they do it right. Like, that's so hard to find today. That is so hard to find. But yeah, dude, I love the Wizard. As a matter of fact, I was watching one of his videos today about a W124 Mercedes, which was like a 300E, early 90s. He's just a straight up honest dude. There's no cinematics about it. You know, there's not some big storyline. But I didn't know the Ninja had a YouTube channel. If he does, I will check it out. I will check it out. I even watch Euro Asian Bob sometimes. I mean, I kind of follow him in the real world, like on social media, but not as much. I mean, he's mostly just a car dealer or whatever. He's having a lot of fun. He's living a dream for sure. Yeah, Bob's funny, dude. You can tell Bob's the kind of guy that'd be a lot of fun to hang out with. I was actually watching Hoovie's video when he bought that Esprit V8 Turbo, and he went with Bob to take a ride in it. You could just tell those guys are having a blast. They've known each other for a long time. And I watched some of Bob's stuff on VinWiki. I think he's had an interview there. He does find the Mintus cars. Actually, a couple years ago, near me in a town called Benton Harbor, there was an E28 M5 for sale. Had really, not like really high miles, but pretty high miles, like 180, 95, 195,000. Pretty clean. Had owned it for a long time. The owner had. I was going to try to buy that car. Bob actually bought that car. He came up from Iowa or Kansas City or wherever he's at. And yeah, he bought that. Yeah, he scoops it up. He does find the Mintus cool stuff. And that's the stuff I like. He likes the survivors and the oddball stuff. Same. Yeah, E34 M5. So for me, I love the E34s, period. That's a toughie because I like the styling of the E39 personally more. But that's the V8 car. And yes, it's faster, but damn, that's tough because I do like the silkiness of the 6-cylinders. I think between the E28 and the E34, I think I would go E28 only because it's like the original. But I do like the E34s a lot. I don't even know the E34 market. It's probably pretty pricey, I would assume, at this point. Why do older folks care so much about matching numbers? That's interesting. So I think the reason why it's so important is because especially muscle cars, like number matching was really born out of the muscle car era. And I think the reason why is because through the 70s and the 80s, when those were just used cars and their values were so low, people bastardized those cars so bad. They suffered from rust. Bins got swapped. You know, cars got bondoed. People made fake SSs, Z28s, fake GTO judges, all these things, fake 442s. Like, it was so common. Like, that's honestly the muscle car stuff is, I think, what really bred the creation of the cloning era, you know, like tribute cars and cloning. And I think just not getting ripped off is really what bred the numbers matching thing. And it was funny because when I had my Viper and I went to sell it, a couple older gentlemen messaged about it. And they said, is it the numbers matching engine? And I'm like, well, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I never even checked. I don't care. And actually, I did find out, like, it wasn't, to the best of my knowledge, that car had 3 engines in it. The stock one blew, the second one blew, both at Willow Springs. The third one was built. I don't know that it was built from the original block, but also I didn't care when I bought it, and I didn't know why they cared either. It was a 96 GTS. Like, it's a nice car, but it wasn't the nicest example. Like, it was a track rat that had survived pretty well. But yeah, the numbers matching thing, I mean, I don't buy cars as collectibles really. So I just don't give a damn. Honestly, if I owned a car where I cared about numbers matching, I would have to question what I'm doing. But yeah, it's just getting hard off the idea that it's exactly as it left the line. That's, I guess, the most valuable one. So, I mean, I get it, but I can't get myself to care that much. Like, honestly, the Mustang's so nice. It drives me crazy even just having a car I have to dry appropriately after I wash it to avoid water spots. Like, it's stressful. I'm a kind of guy that I want a car like the cats. If I have a barn cat, like that, I can walk on it. If I have to stress beyond that, I'm not having fun anymore. At least at this point in my life. I've had a lot of nice cars, but I'm over it. It's more about the experience, man. For sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of cars, I look for. Another one I kind of used to look for and stopped, actually. First gen Taurus SHOs. So we'll just say, I don't know how they break the gens up. We're going to say 89 to 95. So the Yamaha V6 powered cars. I used to shop for those a lot. in between, we'll say the 2006, 2015 era. I actually stopped because I don't know, the market's really fallen off. The cars are getting more obscure. It's harder to get parts for. The old resources like Show Shop and stuff, those websites are getting so old. I actually stopped looking for those cars. It sucks because SHOs with a manual, the Yamaha V6 cars were really fun. Enthusiast Auto Group, ever watched that channel? The guy that, oh, really, in a motorcycle accident died. I haven't watched that channel. I haven't. Actually, I'm not familiar with that one. But that's too bad. I'm very sorry to hear that. Yeah, why do rust buckets go for so much just because when it's restored it's top dollar? Is anyone restoring this car? So here's the thing, man. It's weird, right? So like I do see the shitty 68, 69, 70 Chevelles. I see El Caminos. Honestly, everything's so goddamn much money. And restoring these cars is generally prohibitively expensive, right? I mean, you're going to spend a lot of money to restore a car. I really think like the muscle car shit's going to crash again because of the restoration costs versus the values of the vehicle. It will no longer be a financially viable thing. Even if you're given the car for free, like it starts to not make sense. You know what I mean? And so it's a labor of love thing. I restored a motorcycle with my father. It was a 64 Triumph T120R Bonneville, 64. He bought it in 69 when he got out of the Army. And my uncle rode it through Rod in like 73, 74. And he always kept it. And it was modified when he got it. We restored it back to new. That took us 10 years. I mean, but that was a labor of love. That was sentimental. Like that bike will always be with me until I die. I love that bike so much. So yeah, but from a financial standpoint, all the junk is too damn expensive, dude. I don't know how these kids are getting into the car hobby anymore. You can't buy shit. When I was a kid, $200, $300, $400 cars were a thing. You could buy a car with a week's pay working a minimum wage job. No shit. You can't do that today. Why do you guys in the U.S. have trouble importing cars from elsewhere like Japan? I've read somewhere but didn't really understand. So, I mean, we can import stuff. There's a 25-year rule. But obviously, like, there's, I don't know much about all the regulation stuff, but there's tariffs. It's got to go through customs and all this stuff. So, like, it's not as common for an average Joe to do it. There's a lot of intermediate places that are pretty big in the United States that actually do import cars as a thing, and they have a kind of a big business. I know that there's a pretty good markup in it. The funny thing is, like, there's people who geek out on right-hand drive. There's people who don't care. I prefer left-hand drive cars, U.S. market cars, if I can get them. And that applies to things like another car I always look for, naturally aspirated Z32 300ZX manuals. That's a car I always look for. A right-hand drive one is worth less. And RX-7s and stuff, those are so expensive that, you know, we're importing them. But what's funny is Skylines. Yeah, okay, so you see that. Skylines, are they, I mean, they're not really worth shit in Japan compared to here, right? Like, don't they basically sell them here, and it's almost like we pay way more because we never had it. I don't really know. I'm not sure how that works. I don't know what the market is there, but there certainly is profit in it because people do it as a business. Yeah, and what these shops and flippers are going to do when the cars don't come in to be restored anymore. You know, that's a good question. I mean, what is going to happen to the flippers? And that's why I honestly, dude, that's a good point. So I've owned a lot of cars. I bought and sell them. And the big thing was I was never really a flipper. I was never very good at making money. There's a few cars I made money on. Most of it was that I find value in so many cars. So many cars I want to own, dude. It's insane. But I just want to experience them, you know? It's the nostalgia. I've been reading car magazines since I could read. And my brother's 10 years older than me, so he's handing them down to me, you know? And so we're talking in the late 80s, like as soon as I could read. And they became my heroes. Like I didn't really idolize many celebrities or anything. It was always cars. So it's like being able to go on a date with Marilyn Monroe, you know, if you get the right one or whatever. But yeah, what is going to happen to them? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think at some point someone's going to have to start a business to facilitate people like us that want to drive older cars. And honestly, I do it. I wouldn't say out of necessity. Could I pay for a new car? Yeah, I could pay for it. But in my opinion, can I afford it? No. I want to pay my house off. Like I want to have money. I want to save money. I don't want to be at the chopping block all the time and worry about that kind of shit. Can't get parts. That's the thing. That's another thing I will touch on. Don't let me forget to come back to the parts thing, because there's a lot that I've learned about that. I think someone needs to create, because people, okay, so again, do I buy old cars out of necessity? No, not necessarily. Luckily, I'm in a little bit of a position where I'm a regular kind of middle lower class guy where I can buy like a $4,500 Cherokee. But I also do prefer that because it doesn't appreciate, and I think it's a better built vehicle. But I think it's going to get to the point where the people that can't afford new cars are doing this, and it's already kind of happening, and not just with collector items like what we think of. Look at Jeep Grand Wagoneer prices from the 80s. There's shops that restore those things and go for crazy freaking money, big money. There's a guy, everybody knows on the island, Jeff Geisner. He's putting like LSs, Hellcat motors, and these things, all kinds of crazy shit, $100,000 vehicles, and look at like Land Cruisers and shit, Forerunners, just because they're robust. Dude, big money. So I don't know what's going to happen with that shit. I think that we're going to see emerging markets of people who are like old school mechanics, and we need it. That's why I'm trying to work on my own stuff more. And I struggled to Lincoln because it was like people were like, "Go, just take it to a mechanic." I can't, dude. I can't do that because it defeats the purpose. I need to struggle in the 0-degree temperatures, and it was 0, 20, 15 degrees. It broke on December 28th. It was down through January. It was the coldest month in Michigan. I was out there for probably 15 hours working on it because I need to do that. I need to condition myself to be able to do that because I demand to be self-sufficient. If I will not take it to a mechanic, dude. Like, I was stubborn, but I learned a lot. So I think we're going to need a lot more of that, and I think that's going to hopefully turn into businesses. Anyway, sorry about that rant. Can't get parts. Yeah, so that's the thing. So here's one thing I've learned, and I agree. LS and Hellcat swaps are overrated. Thank you. It's not interesting. Your LS swap's not interesting, man. I get that it's a way to keep an old car on the road, and I prefer it to electrification in most cases. If let's say you had, we're going to touch on that for just a second. I'm going to come back to the parts thing. LS swaps. I get it. Let's say you find a really nice 63 Cadillac and it's a roller, but it's pretty solid. Like, a lot of the chrome's gone and the cost of restoration's too much, but like the bones are good and you could redo the suspension and get some decent brakes on it. If that means throwing a cheap LS in it and like a max ECU or whatever to make it a running usable thing again, okay, man, I'm there with you. I get it. I'm glad to see you keeping the road. Thank you. But that said, LS swapping a Fox Body Mustang makes me sick to my stomach because I'm a nostalgia guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the sound of an LX 5.0 with a Ford V8 is a whole thing of its own. Like, that's the car's soul. I'm way too emotional and weird with cars. But yeah, LS swaps are overrated. I think that I'm glad that LS and those type of engines exist. And I think keeping cars on the road is really important. I'm glad we're not the Cuba I'm glad we're not in the Cuba position yet where we're putting like forklift diesels in fucking cars to drive. Although there are people that I know that do believe that's a thing. A good, very good friend of mine. We talk about it all the time. And he think we disagree a little bit. He thinks we're going to go full Cuba. And he might be on here. He was on here a little bit. Function First is his YouTube channel. It's an excellent YouTube channel. He's a very, very smart guy. He probably isn't wrong. He probably isn't wrong. Ridiculous bandwagons, dude. It's so bad. Anytime, oh my god, anytime I have an issue with a car, LS swap it, LS swap it, LS swap it, LS swap it. I'm like, dude, you can LS swap something if you're repurposing a vehicle that's been off the road and you need a powertrain that's cheap and reliable. Yeah, I get it. But like, I'm never going to take a fucking running car and put an LS in it. I'm just not. There's plenty of great cars with LSs. It's not the LS engine I hate. I think it's a great engine. I would drive a 6-liter GTO. I would drive a fourth gen F body or a C4, C6 Corvette. Or I'm sorry, C5, C6 Corvette. But yeah, the K20 swaps. But I mean, they can make a lot of power. But like, at the same time, there's a few like MR2s and stuff. I saw an MR2 that was like K swapped, made like 700 wheel horsepower. But it's like, at the same time, I don't know, maybe I'm old, but like, I want that original turbo engine. Like, you can breathe on it, but don't take the car's identity away, I guess. So it's like, really the swap thing is between like small penis race guys that have to be faster than you And then there's like the dudes that just want to go out and enjoy a drive by themselves and create their own vibe and enjoy this thing, this nostalgia, this time travel thing. So there's a lot of different ways to enjoy a car, I guess. You know what I mean? There really is. There's the nostalgia factor, and then there's going fast, win races. Um, when I was a kid, yeah, you want to be fast, you want to be fast, you want to be this, you want to be that. As I get older, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. Honestly, the person who wins the race is the person who's having fun before the race, after the race. If you lose sleep over someone being faster than you, you're fucked. You know what I mean? You need to reevaluate yourself, honestly. And obviously, we are all on the internet, dude. How often do you guys run into that? Where someone tries to shit on your parade because their car is faster than yours. Dude, I hate that. Obviously, I've bitched about it enough in other videos and stuff, but like, I'll call them right out. I'll call them right out, dude. Small dick behavior. Sound of a vehicle. Absolutely, man. The aura. Absolutely. So, dude, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody, okay. Thank you. For the love of God. It's something you never see people say on the internet. Sound of a vehicle and the aura means more to me. It's the identity of the vehicle. It's enjoying the vibe. I've been looking at C4 Corvettes and C3 Corvettes too. I didn't say C3s initially, but it's true. I have. And there's a good reason, and I'm looking at the cheap ones, but hear me out. Hear me out. There's only one thing that they're missing for me. And I've owned C3s. I had a 68 Fat. It was a 327 4-speed. Got it for a really good deal. This was like pre-COVID kind of thing. Or maybe it's post-COVID. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. But C3 Corvettes, right? Late cars. So 78 with the glass window, 381. What do they got going for them, right? Serviceable as hell. Excellent aftermarket support. Small block Chevy with an HEI ignition. Simple carburetor. And you can swap it from the Quadrajet if you don't like it. The only thing they don't have is overdrive. That kind of kills it for me. 1-to-1 top gear. If I'm trying to use the thing, drive to work, I don't want to be screaming $3,000 on the highway. But I am still kind of looking at them. They're cheap, You can get a C3 for $6,000 or $7,000, like a pretty nice one around here. And they're serviceable. It's something you can use every day and just like have a little fun in. I like second-gen Camaros and stuff like that a lot, but they've gotten so expensive. The Corvettes are so much cheaper. And so that's the thing. It's like, yeah, it's slow, bro. But like you put some nice mufflers on a C3. It's like an 81, so it's got the ground effects. You're listening to some Boston or some shit. Well, what are you doing? You're having better time than anybody on the road, dude. Guy in a TRD Camry is going to smoke you at a light, but he paid $43,000 for it. And you're in your PLPD car and you're ready to whip donuts and jump railroad tracks. Like, who gives a shit, man? EVs make sounds too. Yeah, I guess. They actually legally have to make some sounds. That fucking Challenger or Charger with that stupid, they had a name for it. What was the name for the stupid Charger speaker things? It had I forget what the name of it was, dude. It was brutal. It was like something Tronic or I don't know. I would Google it, but I'm doing this, but what a stupid gimmick. I was so glad to see that car die. I knew when they started making that thing, when they announced it, this is a flop. And it's like, why does some dumbass in Southwest Michigan see that this giant multi-billion-dollar company is about to smash their own balls with a hammer? Why do I see it and they don't see it? And then, when they introduced the Hurricane, I'm like, that's better. But by then, the price was so goddamn much. I mean, it's $65,000, $70,000 car. ZR1 for less. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yes, exactly. A TRD Camry. Dude, so here's what you do. POV. When the Mustang SUV, I nearly clapped my brother. Same. Fucking same. So ZR1 Corvette for less than $43,000. Let's talk about that for a minute. So let's say I'm a guy. POV, I'm a guy. I don't have the right outfit on for this, but I'm the guy. So I am going to buy a TRD Camry today. I'm really happy. I'm ready to have my $720 a month payment for 72 months on a Camry with like 300 horsepower. I'm really excited to rip 13 9/4 miles and have a really ugly spoiler on a Monday sedan. And then you come in and you tell me, hey, man, let me show you something. And you take me to the side and you say, take a look at this. Here's an 04 Camry. It's going to run forever. It's got 180,000 miles on it, but trust me, maintain this thing. Maybe you put an engine in it. It's $4,000. You got 39 grand left, bud. And you could have this. And you point at me like an LS3 Corvette with a 6-speed or a C4ZR1, dude. Or honestly, you're getting into like in the high 30s. You might even get a Callaway, but forget that. What about this? Or an S197 Mustang GT500 and a 2004 Camry. And no depreciation. That's the big one. Because the real cost of owning cars is depreciation. If you bought a TRD Camry instead of an 04 Camry and an S197 GT500, you're out of your fucking mind. I get it. There is a few places that specialize in the LT5Z R1 engines. I'm a little scared to own one. I have a friend that's interested in trying to work and trade with my Fox body and some cash, but that's the one thing keeping me from it. They're sick, but I'm with you. At this point in my life, I want a car I can buy and drive. So I would actually rather have a C6 with like an LS3 and a manual than a C4ZR1. In my current position. Now, that's me having to maintain it. If money was an object, sure. There is a few places that can do ZR1 stuff, though. But yeah, I agree. But it's still a hell of a lot better than a TRD Camry. You know what I mean? I would buy it over a TRD Camry. I'd buy the two cars, for sure. But what do you guys think about S197, so 07, 09 Mustang GT500s? Those things can be had at like 30 grand. You can get a nice one. Like 30 grand, you can get 30,000 mile, 500 horsepower, 5.4. They do heat soak a little bit in stock configuration, I think, but still 331 axle, Tremec TR6060 or T56, one or the other, 500 horsepower, 30 grand. I agree. I think it's a bargain, especially when you consider the fact that an EcoBoost Mustang, for one, only comes in automatic now, and for two, starts at more money, and it's going to depreciate. Like, I want to talk to single file every dude that bought an automatic EcoBoost. Stand in line, and I want to have a GT500. I don't care about the warranty. I'm sorry. Yes, we will talk parts. The 13 to 14 GT500 is that's a bad motherfucker. As a matter of fact, hot take, and I will get the parts old school. I'm sorry. 13 to 14 GT500, I'll take that over the 2021 all day. You can keep the 760 horsepower one. Give me the 662 with the live axle and the 6-speed with 662 fucking horsepower, 200 mile an hour Mustang, and I believe it was the first 200 mile an hour Mustang. Yes, they are more money. Yes, they are badass, and no, they'll never depreciate. Toyota will run forever. Mac has more than 600,000 miles. I believe it. Boss BO2 is a bargain. I agree on that, and those are a good-looking car, and I like S197s a lot. Between the two, it's tough. GT500 might be a better deal, like in terms of bang for buck and everything, but I agree. Those are neck and neck. Let's talk parts. So one thing I've learned lately with the whole Duralast fiasco on the LSC, my shit's not staged. Some people were like, ew, another YouTuber dragging it out for views. For one, I mean, look at me, bud. I'm poor. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no gel in this hair, okay? I'm not in a position to write stories for my videos. Sometimes I just record the shit I'm doing, and that's fine, you know? But parts is a big problem. And I used to say all the time, you'd hear me like, I can get parts. Let me know what parts you need. I'll find. Okay, yeah, I can find you parts. They might not work. And it is a problem. So what I've learned recently about parts, it's kind of an interesting thing. Parts per vehicle, right? So what I've learned about parts is that you can get parts for just about everything. That is true. I mean, most stuff. There's some obsolete ABS models, whatever. But when we're talking about GMs, when we're talking about Rock Auto's great, man. There's a lot of stuff that's good. There's just some stuff that's tricky, like TFI modules for Mustangs and the TFI distributors. But I'm sure there's more things. What I'm finding is that higher end cars, right? Mercedes, BMW, like an E39 BMW, or an E55 AMG, like a 2001, you can get a lot. Okay, they're going to be expensive. They're going to be more money. Even the R129 SL, the parts are more expensive. But you can get high quality parts. They are available, and sometimes you get to the point where you simply need them, and it's to the point where it's like, well, those are support. There's a lot of OEM stuff for that available, so it makes me rethink the way I look at BMW and Mercedes, because yes, the maintenance might cost more, but we're kind of getting to the point where it's like, okay, but I just need it. Like with my Mustang, if I could get, or I'm sorry, with the Mustang and the Lincoln, if $400 bought me a distributor I knew would be good, I would buy it for like a $2,500 car. I would buy it, but it doesn't exist. So I'm rethinking BMWs and Mercedes, and I've actually, another car I've been looking for, because that's what we're talking about, E39 BMW 528 with a manual. That is a car I'm actively looking for. I had one in the past, loved it, silky smooth, lots of parts, dead ass reliable, got to maintain them, very fun to drive. So I am looking for one of those as well. Can you believe we now long for the day when we used to read made in Mexico on parts? It's so funny you say that. So I just put mufflers on the Lincoln, right? I didn't want to spend money on the Flowmasters. I wanted 40s. I wanted the Lincoln to sound like a 5.0 Mustang because it's the same engine. Well, those mufflers are $155 a piece. This is a kind of a shit box. You know what I mean? And I just want to keep it on the road. So I look up a company called Jones, and Jones Mufflers makes one called Jones Full Bore. It's an American company. It's a Flowmaster 40 knockoff, and the mufflers are made in Mexico. And exactly what you just said happened to me. I assumed they were made in China, and I was kind of like not feeling great about it, you know. They showed up, and I saw the box. I was like, made in Mexico? I was like, USA, Viva la Mexico. I felt great about it. Like, yeah, absolutely, dude. Made it. That's so funny. We now long for the day when you read Made in Mexico, bro. It dead ass. That just happened. It was at my buddy Dale's a couple weeks ago. I was so happy to see Made in Mexico. That's so funny you said that. Honda's so bad with their old cars, nothing available. You know, honestly, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever, believe it or not, I don't know if I've ever owned Honda. I don't think I have. I love Hondas. There's no reason why I haven't owned one yet. I haven't owned one, but I didn't know that. But when I buy a car, I try to research what's available. And I'm going to do it more in the future, obviously, as time goes on, you know, especially quality parts, not just parts. I used to just go to Rock Auto and look, but you got to join the groups, you got to join the forums and really learn the issues. It's not that where the parts are made, it's at the standards of the American companies in these countries. Yeah, I mean, for sure. So it's like, yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm going to assume the Duralast distributors that I put in the Lincoln that failed, 2 of them failed in a row. I'm going to assume they're made in China, but fuck, I don't know. Maybe they are made in the USA. I have no idea. I read somewhere like that maybe Cardone manufactures those, I'm not sure, and they're actually part of a big, they're going bankrupt right now anyway, but they're garbage. I mean, it's crazy that they'll even sell you shit that doesn't work. Like, I don't understand how that's a thing. Like, how is quality control that bad that, like, statistically you're more likely to get a bad distributor than a good one for a 5-liter Mustang or any TFI Ford, but it's just a fact. I bought a junkyard distributor off eBay for $150, which seems stupid, but it works. The car runs. I put 400 miles on it. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. When that shit's the bed, it's getting carb swapped. I got no choice. When that shit's the bed, it's getting a carburetor. And it's getting an HEI distributor. I want to keep the car on the road. I love the car, but it's going to have to happen. There's only 3 battery manufacturers in the world. Just rebrand them. Really? I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. I had no idea. I guess it doesn't surprise me. You know what I mean? Manufacturing being the way it is now, like, things go towards monopolies, large. I mean, honestly, how many tire manufacturers are there in the world? There can't be that many. 2 dozen, maybe 3 dozen, maybe. You know, I'm sure there's some Chinese ones, Indonesia. But yeah, it's probably the same thing. You know, it's just rebranded, the same stuff. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Honestly, the car market's crazier than it's ever been for me. Crazier than it's ever been. I mean, I used to buy new cars. Dude, like, I've actually got a YouTube video coming up. You want to know a number really quick? This is a spoiler from a video I haven't made yet. But I've done some research on it because I want to have objective numbers. You know how much money I spent? I bought my first new car in June of 2022. It was a Focus ST. Sticker price was around $25. I got it for like 22 out the door, and it was cool. You know what I mean? It was. I had to do some driving for work. I had a much older car, like a 200,000 mile Audi A6 Quattro, and I'm like, fuck, I got to drive 2 hours one way every week or so from Southwest Michigan to Warsaw, Indiana. So I bought a new Focus SD. And then I went down the rabbit hole. Anyway, I've got it all mapped out in a spreadsheet for the data for the video. So between June of 2017 and the day I returned the RAM, which was last Thursday, I spent just over 90 grand on cars, and I have no equity in them. I don't own any of them. But that between rolling over negative equity and honestly most of it is depreciation, like buying a car, selling it, losing money. It's crazy. I'll break it down. And honestly, with insurance, it's like 106 grand. I'm fucking poor, so that really hurt. But it's the number I remember every day when I got to start the Cherokee, and maybe it piston slaps a little bit. I think about 106 grand, and I'm like, man, it's okay. It'll be fine. Maybe I'll put some 1040 in it. A little extra ZDDP. Yeah, so the 2012 Focus hatchbacks, those can be okay if they're a manual. But like the automatic, the power shift automatic, those are a dog shit transmission. They've been a dog shit transmission day one, just piles of shit, just absolute garbage. That's one car I won't buy. I will not buy. Sorry, I'm getting a text here. How rude of me. What a piece of shit I am. Anyway, yeah, I won't buy those. It's not a CVT, but it's a power shift automatic is what they call it, I believe. And they're known for being a piece of shit. I think there's actually maybe a class action lawsuit against this. But I'm not sure. Yeah, best kept secret is the 12 or 13 Boss 302. I agree on that one. What do you guys think about 3-valve Mustangs? Because like I said, I was kind of looking, dude, I'm kind of looking at 2005, 2009 V6 Mustangs because there's a shitload of them for like $3,500 with manuals. And they're a 4-liter single overhead cam with like 210 horse. I know it's embarrassing, like in terms of being a Mustang, but in terms of being a car, like they're kind of good. It's like a grand touring car. It's a manual. They're very comfortable. I've had S197s. I had a 3-valve GT. The only reason why I don't want a 3-valve is because of the 2-piece spark plugs and cam phasers, honestly, and the fact that like a good 3-valve's like maybe 10 or 11 grand, 12 grand, and like a V6 is like 3,500. Always good to keep an early 70s American car with a straight six, one barrel, points, gets you around, and can be used as a mobile generator. Yeah. No, hey man, dude, I'm with you. I like the 70s and 80s Fiestas too, by the way, old school, and the Datsun 510. So, okay. And like I said, I've been looking at C3s, and I'm looking at carbureted HEI stuff for sure. HEI is a good system. HEI ignition, I think we can all agree. The coil mounted distributor, one wire, one in for 12-volt power, one out to the tach. It's a great ignition system. You know what I mean? But I want something with no fucking computers. I like points. I've been dealing with points since 2012. It's the first time I've ever experienced points in a car. I had a 59 Edsel Ranger. It had been sitting in a barn since 1982. It had a 292 and a 2-speed automatic. Sorry, that car was points, condenser. There was like this porcelain ballast thing on the firewall that was shared with an 8N tractor. Rebuilt to Holly, flushed the fluids. The motherfucker ran. And then that's when I knew I liked points because you can look at them and they make sense. You can see them. You can gap them. I've even got a fucking... Hold on. I'll show you something. I'll show you how much I like points. I've got my dwell meter right here. This is a Cal-equipped dwell meter. These were made in Otsego, Michigan, a couple miles from me. And I've still got my Cal-equipped model R10 or R11 dwell meter right here. This is the shit. You got your high and low, you got your 6 and your 8. For a 4-cylinder, you cut the 8.5. I got my tack and dwell meter. I use this thing, and I've used this thing, and I love points. I mean, honestly, you can gap them and get them close. The dwell meter I only used once on the 68 vet, but I love points. I agree, man. I'm all with you on that. 98 Cummins sat for 13 months and started right off with a new battery. Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, I don't know that much about Cummins. I don't know if that's like a 12 valve or a 24 valve, but never heard a bad thing about them. It is a metal casing. Yeah, there's the only plastic on that is the screen that goes over it. But yeah, it's metal casing. I mean, that thing is a weapon. That's like you could pistol whip somebody with that. That thing is mean. But yeah, it's old school, man. I'm guessing 60s, maybe 70s. Yeah. Cal Equip was still there when I was in school. They're gone now. But they were still there when I was in high school. It was right across the street from my high school, actually. They made all kinds of electronic instruments. I'm glad to see there's even 15, 16, 17 people here. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out. It's fun. Yeah, points for sure, man. It's I've been looking also, another car I always look for, even back to the 50s, but mostly like 60s, we'll say mid 60s, kind of where stuff's cheap. 60s to maybe mid 70s, four-door stuff, right? Which used to be dirt cheap. I'm talking Bonnevilles, I'm talking Caprices, I'm talking pretty much everything, man. Buicks, whatever, anything. Fords, like a four-door Torino. I don't give a shit, or an Elite. I don't care. A Granada, maybe. Those are a little later. A Maverick. And all this shit's so freaking expensive. You can't get shit. You can get a $10,000 car from that era. And it's like, have fun, old school. Thanks for hanging out, man. Those cars are just too expensive. You know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to say too expensive. I don't know what that means. Later, Steve. Steve. Cali Slav. Almost called you Steve. Later, bro. Thanks for coming in, man. Hanging out. Yeah, the points cars, it's just so expensive. It's prohibitive. It's I don't know. It's an incredibly difficult market. I don't know what these young kids are doing that are trying to get into cars for the first time, man. Okay. Welcome back, bro. Glad to have you still here. Yeah, man. It's like I don't know what. So here's my question. Someone give me some answers here. So I've told you some of the stuff that I'm always looking at when I go to Marketplace. 93 Fleetwoods, all these things, 65 to maybe mid 70s four-door stuff. What do you guys look at? Are you as compulsive with me? Or is it as compulsive as me where you look constantly? Because I fucking look constantly, like every day. That's why I have 5 cars. Hey man, thanks for joining in. I never know what to call anybody. CC Roy is what I'm going to call you though, and if that's right, let me know. Maybe I'll just call you Roy. You can be old Roy. Got trusty sidekick. What's going on, man? Thanks for the compliment. I appreciate that. We're just hanging out talking shit about new cars, but also talking about like what kind of old stuff we're looking at. And I'm curious what you guys are looking at on Marketplace. We've talked some about like some of the deals that we think like are a good buy right now in terms of daily drivers, performance cars, stuff like that. And I've shared a little bit about, the kind of stuff I'm always looking for. And I just think it's timeless. Lincoln Town Car is very much at the top. I like to find gems and bury my car buddy in the links. Yeah, believe that, dude. That's the best, isn't it? I was looking at memes about that. There's reels and memes about that all the time. Lincoln Town Cars, though, I just can't stop looking at them. They're just so good, man. They feel like a S-Class, like a brand new S. That's my brand new S-Class Mercedes is a fucking 95 town car. That's just the best. Lately, you've been in the 68 ribs. Ooh, god damn. That's a timeless era, man. Those ribs are serious cars. A lot of power. Gorgeous. I like them a lot. I like the Tornados and stuff too, but I always prefer the rib because the rib was rear wheel drive, or at least, well, at that time they became front wheel drive later or whatever. But I was into 85 GT coupes for a minute. Elaborate. What do you mean GT coupes? What am I missing? I'm not that smart. GT coupes. 85 Mustang GTs? Like the last year of the carbureted Mustang GT? Because I can definitely understand that. Yeah. I've had several 85 GTs. My first Mustang was an 86 four-cylinder car that I bought really cheap, never ran right. But my first real one that I claim was an 85 1E, I think is the color code silver, 85 GT. Last year, the carburetor. First year, the roller cam. Still had a 7.5 from the factory, and I did break one. But, man, dude, I fucking love an 85 GT. I like all of them. Don't get me wrong. I like all the Foxes, truly. Fairmonts, even the early 80s T-Birds, and then into the 83s and onward. But, yeah, 85 GTs are a real sweet spot for me. And 82 GTs. 82 GTs are hot. Like, they got the look. And also 85, 86 Capri RSs. Glad to catch the live stream from you. Thanks, man. Glad you're here. You got to be thinking about getting out of my 24 Maverick hybrid and into a 92 to 96 F-150. Well, what I can say is I've actually had two Mavericks. Neither one was a hybrid. They're both EcoBoost all-wheel drive. Back when I was buying new cars, good vehicles. But it's tough, and so you've got a 24. That means it's front-wheel drive only. Honestly, dude, a 92 to 90. The thing about your Maverick is you can get what you paid for it. Even still, like you can still get what you paid out of that thing. They hold their value really well compared to a lot of their shit. So I mean, I don't blame you, dude. Find the best rust-free 92 to 96 F-150 you can. That's like my favorite era. I mean, well, 80 to 86 I also like, but the 96 was really like the last one I loved. Like I've had some Broncos, had like an 89, and then I had a 93 and also a 96. Loved them. Oh, Ben, you fucker. I didn't realize that was you, man. I still got a video of the day you picked that car up. Can you believe it's been since 2016? I've got a video you pulling out of the driveway, getting jiggy in first and second gear. And I had no idea how rusty that car was, bro. On God. If it was rusty when you bought it, I had no idea. But that car got it, though. That 7.5 with those 410s. I bought that car. I know I sold you that car for nothing. It was like, what, $700 or something? It couldn't have been much. And I had bought it for, 500 or 600. And like, it was leaking fuel. It was hemorrhaging. I rebuilt the Holly because they had the factory Holly. That car fucking ripped. Yeah, Legendary 83 notch. I can't wait till you get that done, man. You got to get on that. You got to get on that notch back, dude. The time is now, Ben. We're getting older, bro. We got to get these projects done so we can go rip shit, man. We got to do it. What motor's the notch got in it? I forget. Is that a roller? Another thing is about LS swaps. Does it make sense in a car of a state? Yeah, I mean, I guess so, because you could probably get really low emissions from an LS swap. I'm assuming they're very efficient. So, I mean, I can't hate for that reason. But I mean, I don't know how that works with a car with a non-original engine. Was it a six-banger? Was it inline six or like 3.8 or whatever? I know the six-cylinder, the bitches, I don't think you can use the K-member on a six-cylinder with a V8. You'd have to swap K-members. That's what I've always been told. Four-cylinder K-member, yes, with a V8. Six-cylinder, no, is what I've always been told. I don't know if that's true. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, dude, I actually was just looking at my old videos the other day. And that YouTube video of you getting jiggy out of my driveway when I lived at the Plainwell house, it's still on there. It might be unlisted, but it's called Bye Bye 85. And you're just straight up ripping that thing. With blah, blah, blah. Good times, dude. Can't believe it's been 10 years, man. It's crazy. I'm a lot fatter than I was then, but unfortunately, I still have red hair. What the fuck? You know what I mean? I'd rather be skinny with white hair than fat with red hair. Honestly, I'd probably take a balding over the. Man, it is what it is. I'll tell you what I'm looking for, Ben. I'm looking for a Fairmont QA1. Yeah, I know it. You've got those big dreams, man. You want to build that sick pro touring. Fucking, I get it. I get it, man. You can. That's the beauty of a Fox. It's like Legos. You can build a Fox body to be whatever you want it to be. I mean, you can go as deep as your wallet with those things. Mine, canyon car. I get it. You can make them handle. They're light. They got that going. For sure. I've been looking for a Fairmont wagon because part of me wants to actually, I had the Lincoln on a hoist. It's not that rusty underneath at all. It's pretty damn solid because I was thinking find a Fairmont wagon and eventually transplant all the shit over and make like kind of a little, put some like cheap SB 170 heads on it, carb it, and throw it in a Fairmont wagon. And maybe someday. But they're so expensive. I can't find one. I can't find a fucking Fairmont. I can't find any Fairmont for a reasonable amount of money. It's brutal. So what else? What do you guys look for on Marketplace? Like I said, I've been looking at all this stuff, going crazy every day. It's town cars. What else is a good deal? 84 Fairmont in high school. Dude, yeah, I had an 83. I had an 83 Fairmont Futura. Last year, the Fairmont, it was a four-door. It was the 200 cubic inch inline six with a one-barrel carburetor and an automatic. and it was like 90 horse. Honestly, the weird thing is the push rod 200 inline six made the same horsepower as the 2.3 overhead cam four cylinder. But yeah, that car, like on dirt, you could do neutral drops and it wouldn't spin the tires. Vapor locking, yeah, I believe that. Yeah, absolutely. The way those intakes were, if I recall, I don't know if the intake and the exhaust are on the same side on those or not, but yeah, it's fucking obnoxious. It's yeah, that's when you got to get into spacers and whatever the hell. That's old car problems, man. It's crazy. It's crazy thing about vapor locking. Like I vapor locked my 70 Cadillac sedan DeVille once. I didn't know what the fuck was wrong. Um, yeah, freaked me out. What about you, Ben? What is it? What do you look at? Do you look at Marketplace and do you go nuts? I know you send me the shit you look at, but what else? Did you see that turbo? Ben, near us, there is like an 89 or 88 626 turbo, and it's got a smoked cam. The guy said it's got a smoked cam lobe, but it's the 2.2 Mazda turbo from the GT Probe with 145 horse, 190 torque, and it is a manual. It's in like Pawpaw or Bangor or some shit, but it needs a cam, and he wants $3,000. And like the body looks solid, the interior looks really nice. The paint's kind of like maybe shit. It's like kind of a gold color, if I recall. When I saw you, I thought of that car. Buick Roadmaster is a good value. If you can find a good one, they are. And honestly, same with those as the Roadmaster, or I'm sorry, is the Fleetwoods. I would be really happy with a 350 throttle body Roadmaster. I had an LT1 Roadmaster wagon once. Great, excellent power for the weight of the car. Very comfortable, dude. Loved it. It was so much fun. But I really kind of like the idea of the throttle body 350. I know it's kind of a slug or whatever. It's like not a lot of power, but that's not what I'm here for. And it's so simple. It's just so simple and good. And honestly, they're good in cars. You know what it makes me think of when I see a Roadmaster? I think of the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh my God, what the hell? Jack Nicholson was in it. He had a Roadmaster. He's a gangster. They rode around in it. Why can't I think of it? It was one of the best movies ever made. Does anyone? Well, I'm drawing a blank here. What's Matt Damon was in it. The Departed. Thank you. God damn, I'm getting old. That's a fantastic movie. But yeah, Jack Nicholson was rolling around in a Roadmaster in that, I believe. I think so. Vice Grip just did in 79 Bronco. You know, I saw that. I didn't watch it yet. I love his videos. They're my favorite. Yeah, I want a Bronco as well. I want any year Bronco. I like 78s and 79s. I like the first gens, obviously. Those are so much money. But even the 80 to 96s are so fucking expensive. Some of my favorite vehicles I've ever had, though. I mean, I've daily driven some Broncos back when they were cheap. I mean, in 2013, I bought an 89 Bronco XLT 302 automatic. I think it was $1,300. I daily drove it. I don't know what the fuck happened. Junker up. I don't know. I'm gonna check them out. I'll check them out for sure. There's a lot of good channels, man. It's crazy. It's fun to find them too. Been finding a lot lately. Wife wants an early 60s Scout. So you know what though? The Scout at this point, like they're coming up a little bit, but it's kind of like a smart man's Bronco because they're still not cheap, but they're a little cheaper, and I dig them. Actually, I would be happy with a stock Scout, like a stock Scout. And what was this? What was the long Scout? Travel Master or Travel All International Travel All? That was like the Suburban. Yeah, definitely got to go to New Mexico or Arizona. Do you guys ever watch David Friedberger? That guy's got it made out there in LA and in the dry climate. Dude, he finds the best shit out there. That's like, I should live out there just for the cars, but I can't afford the taxes. But can you imagine just being able to find shit and like the floors are just always solid? Like, fuck, you know what I mean? It's just crazy. Chris Birdsong, Mopar's Galore. Is that a YouTube channel as well, Chris Birdsong? Patina is a mating charger. Yeah, I'll have to check it out, man. Yeah, that's cool. Another YouTube channel that has a kind of a neat charger. There's a guy, what's his name? Golly, he did a 2.2 charger and like brought it back to, and I know it's a charger, but like an 82 Charger 2.2, and he actually brought it back and like used it. And that's an excellent channel as well. Excellent channel as well. I can't think of that dude's name though. This is a younger kid. It's like I don't know. He makes kind of fun videos. I'll have to remember what his name is and mention it sometime. But yeah, Junker Up. I'll check it out, man. Yeah, I'm always looking for. I watch a lot of British YouTube too, though. I watch like Harry's Garage a little bit, and like Tyrrell's Classic Workshop and Number 27. So I like a little bit of everything really. She fell in love with a scout in the Sandra Bullock movie Hope Floats. Yeah, yeah. The pickup style scout was like. They made a Bronco like that too. I think. Yeah, they made a Bronco in that style for sure, with a 2-door with the back out, with like a little bed on it or something like that, where the back was open. And maybe that top could be retrofitted any of them, but I don't think so. No, because the truck Broncos had different doors. I think then, because there was full on rag top Broncos, and those had little doors. And then there's a few different styles, but yeah, I don't know if the Scouts are the same way or not. With the pickup style, they are cool. I don't know much about the motors they put in the Scouts though. I don't know if they're like. I mean, shit, man. I'll be honest with you, I don't really know much about the engines. I don't know a damn thing about the engines in those. Yeah, I agree. Number 27, absolutely. Terrell's Classic Workshop, awesome. Harry's a lot of fun. I just watched a video today with Harry talking to Jeremy Clarkson about like, well, they're both driving 10-year-old Jags. Like they're not even buying new cars. They're testing new cars. They don't even drive them. It's fun. It's fun. I love those guys. CJ7 Scramblers for sure. Absolutely. I live in California near Friedberger. It's not as great as you'd think. Cash for cars destroyed a lot of good old cars. They might not be rusty, but every piece of plastic dash poster was roasted. Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, that is true. That is the trade-off. Up here, we do got nicer interiors. So really, it's like you really kind of need both. It's an ecosystem. Yeah, I've seen that. Roached interiors out there. Dash pads. I mean, Christ almighty. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I guess we all want what we can't have. Up here, getting out of rust is tough, man. Scout snowplow. Hell yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I think a Scout would be a really cozy unit just to bang around, especially as a manual, you know. But I don't know what the hell engine they had. Is it like a straight 6? Some of the Scouts were V8s, right? Like they didn't build their own V8, did they? Did they use like a AMC thing, or what did they do for an engine? Honestly, I don't really know. I don't know that much about my Scout stuff. V8, yeah, okay. Trying to think, is it something getting? It is an internet. Okay, no shit. Yeah, okay. Trying to think. I'm guessing around a 300 some odd cubic inch kind of a thing, like small 300s, something maybe. Yeah, that'd be fun, man. I do like the international travel alls though. I think that those are super cool. I think they've got. I think that like old SUVs, you know. I think those are kind of becoming a thing. Okay, here's one. Is it just me? Ben knows. Geo trackers. Hear me out. Early Geo trackers and Suzuki sidekicks. The old ones with the 1.6 and stick, dual range transfer case, especially with the hard top, but even the soft tops. That's another one I always look for. I actually drove one for the first time last year. It was mint, and it was fun, dude. It was actually fun. 345. That's right. I know for a fact that is one of them. 345 V8, yeah. Samurais are cool too, but they're just, dude. The only thing about Samurais though, like sidekicks and trackers are slow. Like they have from 80 to 95 horsepower. The Samurais are even less, but they are cool. They're tin cans, but they're so utilitarian. I agree. A hard body metal Samurai is the shit. Amigos are also sick. Some Amigos had a Honda 4-cylinder in them. Tracker sidekick manual is super cool. I agree. I drove one for the first time last year. It was had to be like a 91 maybe. It was yellow, but it was so mint. The upholstery was super cool. The seating position was kind of awkward. You're kind of up high, but the power was more than adequate. Those things are very light. Like they're in like the lowish twos. I think it was like 2,300 and change. No shit. 4-wheel drive, dual range. Unfortunately, I didn't buy it. The 4-wheel drive, wouldn't engage. It was a manual. It was fun. There's a guy local to me, Bob, and he actually deals in them like nationally. So he is kind of keeping his eye out for me for a good one. Suzuki somersaults. Well, I don't know what that is unless you're talking about the way samurais somersault and when you turn too fast, because I know they're notorious rollers. They got that short wheelbase and they sit up high as hell. But they're cool, man. They are cool. Unless somersaults is a model, in that case, enlighten me, because I don't know. What if you could find a 4-wheel drive Chevy Love? Would you do it? No. If I recall correctly, the Chevy Love was a rebadged Isuzu, wasn't it? Like a Isuzu truck rebadged. Same thing with like the Ford Courier. I think maybe that was like a Mazda or something. The Geo Tracker is based on Suzuki. Yeah, so the Geo Tracker, Suzuki Sidekick, same thing. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, for all intents and purposes, they still make the Samurai overseas. It's just the Jimny. I mean, they make it in a K engine with a 660cc and then a larger one as well. People call them that. I'm not shocked. They like to flip. You had an Isuzu Pup. Now, is an Isuzu Pup the sister to the Chevy Love? Is that like the same thing, or? I know I've seen Chevy Loves with 4-wheel drive. I know for a fact I've seen them. I had big 4x4 graphics on the side. Cool as shit, man. What I wouldn't give. But I'd ruin it. I'd want to drive in the winter. Lanolin rust protectant, though. That's a thing I'm learning a lot about. There's a YouTube channel called Repair Geek. Check him out. If you haven't seen Repair Geek, check him out. He does undercoating professionally. This dude is so smart, and he's used them all. And he has a video where he checks a vehicle after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 years that he coats every year. And I think he's like in Ohio, maybe. It's crazy. PB Blaster makes a product called Surface Shield, I think it is. And that lanolin undercoating is a shit. It's not like rubberized stuff. This is an oil. It's really, really great. Look like a Sunny. Oh, okay, like the old school. Was that a Datsun Sunny? Nissan Sunny? Is that Sunny was a Nissan, right? Yeah, it is literally made from sheep. It's the wax from like sheep's wool. Yeah, literally. Dude took a bone stock Geo Tracker and a 100-mile race in Nevada. That's badass, dude. Yeah. Fluid film too. Yeah, fluid films. Yeah. So I can't remember which one's which, but fluid film, surface shield, all those ones, kind of the same thing. Lanolin based. Everything I hear, that's the way now, and that is the way. That's what I'm gonna do to the XJ, to the Cherokee, 100%. I'm gonna do it to all my cars though. I'm gonna do it to the Nissan. I didn't even drive it in the winter, but I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it to the Lincoln as well, just because the underside of that car is actually really clean, and I do drive that car in the salt. That's my winter Mustang. So, yeah, I'm gonna 100% do that to my cars. 100%. Honestly, shit, I'm tempted to do it to the Mustang underneath just because it's really clean and moisture is a thing forever, and I want it to last as long as I can. I'm definitely on the preservation side now. I'm surprised nobody said anything about my obsessive amount of C4 pictures on the wall. I mean, I've got giveaway pictures here. Turn this Corvette into a reality. I've got old Goodyear ads. I've got the Callaway BF Goodwrench one. Surprised no one said anything. A lot of you guys might not know how obsessed I am with C4 Corvettes. I actually used to have a real problem. But yeah, fluid film. Definitely doing your favorite cars. Yeah. Moving out of the Rust Belt. Dude, I get it, man. I want to move out of the Rust Belt. It is a dream. To not think about this and buy like forever cars. It really is. It's just hard. It's like I look at places and I look at cost of living. Like once I pay my house off, maybe move, take the equity or rent this and just maybe cruise around, find somewhere where there's no rust. I would love the idea of a forever car. Like my XJ down south, it would be my forever car. I'd put engines, transmissions, I'd do everything to it forever. I would just keep it forever. Most of my shade tree buddies give them the old oil change undercoat. Yeah, I've got friends who use that too, literally pump sprayers, dude. And they would take oil, and I think they said they would mix oil with, I'm not sure what, if it was like a detergent like WD-40. I don't know what they mix, but just pump it and just spray it. Yeah, I agree. You got to be your own parts store. I mean, When you see people who are dedicated to a platform, diesel fuel, yeah, makes them a detergent. Um, town car guys, like if I was down south, this is what I would do. If I was not in the Rust Belt, XJs, and I would stockpile them. I'd have parts cars. Panthers, stockpile them. I'd have parts cars. I'd have a bunch of town cars, and I'd have a couple good ones I drove, and I'd have my Fox. And honestly, to me, and maybe my Nissan, I do like the car, and maybe the Charger. But either way, that would cover all the bases. Like a town car, an XJ, and a Fox body, or some other kind of miscellaneous car. To me, that's a whole lineup right there. Drove it up to Sonora Pass, 9,600 foot elevation, overheating the whole way up, but it still made it the race of fish race. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. Those things are tough. Those things are freaking tough. Those Suzukis. Yeah, I'm looking for town cars too. I showed the guys earlier. I don't know. Were you in here when I showed the town car that I've kind of been eyeballing like a rat? And by that I mean today. It's silver, and I'm just going to show you because I'm trash. I don't have. So it's silver with a maroon back Landau roof and the mesh wheels. Look at that rear roof. Look at it. It's maroon. Silver with a maroon roof. My God, it's good. And yes, that's right. As maroon, like blood red maroon interior. I'm probably going to buy this. You know what I mean? I can't help it. It's too good. It's a 95. My last 95 was a late 95, had OBD2. So that was a bonus. My girlfriend probably going to fucking kill me. But listen, I got rid of the truck. The truck's gone. I'm a PLPD guy now, except for the Mustang. It's got Haggerty. I think I deserve this. Exactly. The interior, dude. Exactly. You can't get those colors this side of a Porsche these days. 78 town car loaded when you're a toddler. Blue with blue leather. Those are the big town cars. 379. Those things are monsters. My brother had a town coupe, the 2-door. Yeah, that's sick, dude. Wish I had an IG sometimes show, but I care less. Yeah, I feel you. I don't do anything on Instagram either, really, at all. I don't do anything. I do a little bit here, and I can't even believe people watch it, but I'm glad they do. It's fun. It's cool to share this stuff with people who get it. Pea Green 76 Maverick. Was it a 4-door Maverick? 95 Tar was my favorite car in the fleet when I was a teenager. Working in a budget rental car. Best interior ever. White leather. Yeah, I had a 98 town car with white leather. Best interior for sure. The seats are like a lazy boy, dude. I mean, you cannot touch it. I haven't seen any new Mercedes S-Class or fucking Rolls Royce, right? But this side of 20 grand or 30 grand, I can't imagine a more comfortable seat other than, maybe like Roadmasters, Cadillacs, whatever. But town cars are way up there. 4-door, 6-cylinder. That's a tank right there. That's a unit. I wonder if it was a 200 inline six or a 250. Either way, that's actually cool. At this point, there would have been a time where I wouldn't have looked at a 4-door Maverick, but now it's weird how that changes. You know what I mean? Like the practicality. I'm like, oh yeah, that car is so good. Oh man, 4-door Maverick. I can't help it, man. It's too much fun. But yeah, town cars are a thing. I'm probably gonna buy this one. I mean, went from town cars to fucking station wagons, dude. But station wagons are cool, man. I mean, I can't help it, dude. Like a country squire, you know what I mean? I can't be mad at like, let's say an 84-ish to even the late 80s towards the end of the Ford full-size wagons. Like, I love those cars. Roadmaster wagons, dude. I love those cars. But yeah, now I know what you're saying. All they make now is like the MK, whatever the fuck they make. I don't even know what Lincoln makes anymore. And then the Navigator, which is $100,000, and it's just shit. It's literally just shit crossovers with screens in them now. Lincoln today, it's nothing. When I was a kid, Lincoln was a prestigious thing. I mean, the Mark 7, my grandmother had, I guess, a male companion, a boyfriend for a long time after my grandfather passed away. He had a Mark 7, and he made money. It was a classy car, man. Have I ever owned a 90s Ford Thunderbird? Actually, no. I spent a little bit of seat time in them. I never owned one. About 2 years ago, I almost bought an 89 89 or 90, 89, 90. XR7 Cougar, which was the supercharged 3.8 5-speed version, and it was the red one with the cool wheels, but we couldn't quite get together on price. It needed a little more than what I wanted to deal with. But a 90 Thunderbird massively growing on me too, dude. I've been looking at them. Like I'm not as interested in the 3.8. They're all right motors. Like I don't know if those ones are head gasket poppers like the Lincoln stuff, the front wheel drive stuff was, but like a 4.6 Thunderbird, dude, the interior in those cars are fantastic. The interior in like a 90s Thunderbird, especially the refresh where they really wrap around you, it's almost reminiscent of a Supra. Like it's really good. And some of them have funky colors. Some of those things have green interiors. Keep your eye out. You can find a 90s Thunderbird green on green if you look, and they're sick. And yes, if you buy one and you manual swap it, you're cool as hell. For sure. 4-wheel independent suspension, for sure. Absolutely. Just like the Mark 8s. So one funny thing with speaking about that platform, the MN12 platform. So one funny thing about my LSC, it's 89. And the reason why those cars didn't sell that well at that point was because of the Super Coupe. So in 89, the Super Coupe came out, and it was the MN12. It was 4-wheel independent suspension, supercharged 3.8. So you had 210 horse and like 315 foot-pounds of torque. It was faster than the LSC. It came with a manual at 4-wheel independent suspension and all the same luxury for like 23 grand, whereas the Lincoln was like 27, 28. So honestly, the Super Coupe kind of put the nail in the coffin for the LSC. And it took them so long to come out with the Mark 8, 90s, those Thunderbirds are everywhere. They were everywhere. They were. Yeah, I rarely ever see them. Same. My priority is reliability too. I would like the 4.6 if I got one, just because they're simple. Thunder Chicken, not a Cougar. Yeah, the Thunderbirds. I love the 83 to 86s as well, but the 90s ones are nice. 6240 3800 Series 2. I mean, I can't hate a 3800 Series 2, bro. You know what I mean? There's nothing but love for those. Actually, there's a Park Ave Ultra near me at a dealer, though. It's like 02, 01. It's mint. It's white. Series 2 supercharged. Obviously, it's an Ultra. They want like $9 grand for it, though. It's 85,000 miles. It's probably, it's worth it, like someone's going to use it. But yeah, 3800 Series 2s are dope. Rivieras with 3800 sweet. I like all the 3800 stuff, even the earlier Park Avs. Love those cars. 94 and 95 T-Bird and Cougar had that wraparound interior. Yep. 96, they cheaped out on the gauges. I didn't know that. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I like the wraparound interior on those cars. I think they're ahead of their time. I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think they were cool either, dude. They were boring back then, dude. They were everywhere. You know what I mean? It's like, one car we didn't appreciate, the Daytona. And when I say the Daytona, I mean the regular ESs that we would see everywhere, the blue Daytonas, the later flip-up headlights. They were everywhere. And another car we didn't appreciate? You might not agree with me. Dodge Avengers. Like, they're not bad. I honestly, a 4-cylinder manual Avenger, it's kind of a good car. And I don't think we appreciated Neons enough either, because if you go back and look at the performance specs for a first-gen Neon with the 150 horse dual overhead cam, realize those cars did 0 to 60 in 7.5 and handled amazing. We didn't appreciate them, dude. And they're gone now. We did take them for granted. They were all just, and we love them now in the nostalgia, but honestly, I don't even think it's just that. I think they were really, we thought cars would keep getting better, and we were wrong. They peaked, and seeing that now, like I said, those first gen Neons with the 150 horse were little rippers, honestly. And they were revvy too. I think they rev like $7 grand. They were pretty badass for what they were. I never thought I would say a Neon's badass, but Neons are kind of badass, especially an ACR, which is a car I look for. Buddy had a first run of the supercharged 3800. Absolutely, dude. The L60, dude, the L67 Grand Prix, they did 0 to 60 and okay, let's talk L67s for a minute. Supercharged Grand Prix. When those came out with the Series 2 supercharged, I think 96, 97, they had 240 horsepower, 280 foot-pounds of torque. The Mustang GT had the non-PI 4.6, so it was only like 215 horse. Both ran 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds. The Grand Prix and the Mustang. And the Grand Prix is actually more expensive. I hate to say it, but 4.6 non-PI, SN95. I think I'd take the Grand Prix even today. I think I would, just because of the comfort. Those Grand Prix had great seats. Those Grand Prix in Bonnevilles had fat guy, comfy fucking seats. They were good. And the Grand Prix, they were bolstered a little. They were really nice, dude. 92, 93 RT with the T3 Lotus. That was badass. Yes, 100%, dude. We'll never forget T3s here. Dude, okay, RT Daytonas and RT Spirits. Those cars are crazy. 224 horsepower back then. 100 horsepower a liter. That, dude, those things were groundbreaking. That I still want. I still really want one, and I like them a lot. But I have the Charger. If I was gonna get one, I would look for a Spirit RT, just because I grew up in a Plymouth Acclaim, so it's the nostalgia thing. But yeah, the fucking RT Daytonas, those were 150 mile an hour car, dude. If I remember, as tested back in the day, they were like one of the, as far as top speed, they were up there for American cars as one of the fastest. The Neon Assist, yeah. Everybody knew somebody with a Neon. When you see one today, it's exotic looking. I agree, dude. If you saw it, yeah. And by then they had the little skinny headlights and they were swoopy. They kind of had that GT car look, you know. The hatchback, yeah. It would turn heads today. I would break my neck at one of those over any new Mercedes, you know. Dad test drove a turbocharged Dodge Spirit in the early 90s. So yeah, okay. Ben, I think I know Vicksburg Dodge, no shit. So they did put the 2.5 turbo in some Spirits. And it might have been believe it or not, it might have been like a Spirit. Let me think, how do they do this? So let me think. Dodge Spirit. Plymouth Acclaim, Dodge Spirit. I think there was a Spirit, if I recall correctly. There was definitely a Spirit, yes. There was, because I almost bought one. There was a Spirit ES, and that's probably what you're talking about, Ben. Red with the gold wheels, yeah. I mean, that's sick, dude. That's sick. Honestly, those are cool now. Like, that's cool now. I mean, it just is. Honestly, we didn't appreciate it, man. The Spirits and Acclaims were so boxy when they were new. I hated them. Mom had a 2.5 naturally aspirated Acclaim, but now, like, I like it. I like the dash. I like the body style, especially with the body kit. Mark II Jetta, absolutely. When's the last time you saw one of those, dude? I never see old school Jettas, Sirocco's. I had two Sirocco's, man. I had 84 and 86. They were both 8 valves. But yeah, the last one I saw was probably when I had one, and that was in 2007, 2008. One of them had inky wheels on it, a fart can. Super cool. Bought one for $400, one for $600. It was not the small Spirit that came out with later. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I trying to think. Dodge Spirit. Yeah. I don't know. It had to be a Spirit ES, Ben. It had to be like a Spirit ES. Pretty rare. Dude, Dodge Shadow ESs? Yeah, exactly. The last one you saw was your sister's. Because they're unfortunately they're gone. Some collectors have them for sure. I mean, there was kids in high school that had E30 BMW 318s, though. I graduated in 2001. I mean, and look at E30 prices now. But yeah, man, I don't know. Those are Spirits were cool. Citations, like a Citation X11. That's one car I keep my eye out for. I probably won't find one. Early Z24s, the box Z24s. Bro, believe I would drive an Astro van. Are you kidding me? I love Astros. My girlfriend's dad has a conversion van Astro. It's pretty fucked. It's clapped out. It's like basically a bee's nest in a mold emporium, but yeah. An all-wheel drive Astro, though. That'd be the shit. Fun fact, the Cyclone and Typhoon actually use the same all-wheel drive system as the Astro. Yeah, those are cool, man. Those are really cool. And daughter started driving 07 Jetta Gasser, yeah. Yep. I got a buddy with a Touareg. He likes the diesel ones, those V10 diesel ones. By the time we got to high school, all these nice cars were clapped out. Yeah, I believe it. Put a rust-free one. Wow. Yeah, I know a lot of people that love those Touaregs. Like I said, my buddies had multiple V10 Touaregs diesels. T4 VNT Shadow LeBarons, all of those, man. All those Chryslers. Honestly, dude, Shadow ESs are fucking my first car was a Dodge Shadow that I drove legally. It was a 4-door America trim, so it was a base model automatic 2.2 TBI. But my dream at the time was a Shadow ES with either a turbo or the Mitsubishi V6 and a manual. I think today, which one would I want? I don't know. I don't know. The V6s are cool too. I've already got a turbo, but yeah, lasers for sure. Well, so there was two lasers though. There was the early laser that was like a Daytona, then there was the later laser that was a DSM. I actually like both. I like both, which brings me to a whole nother thing. DSMs, man. Both. Exactly. Both, dude. Both. I've never owned a DSM, but I've always wanted one. When I was younger, in 03, I had a friend, his sister had a front-wheel drive Talon turbo. And, those were like 190 horse, the stick. I think it was badass, dude. It was an early one. It had like this wraparound kind of gauge thing, and you sat really deep in it, and it had a cool 3-spoke wheel. Diamond Star Motors, yep. That car kind of ripped. I remember at the time, like being stuck up and being like, "Oh, it's not a GSX or whatever. It's like a GST or whatever front wheel drive." But it ripped. But the 90s, they're such a good looking car though. The first early Eclipses, really all of them from that gen, but the earliest ones honestly are the most attractive to me. I know they're starting to get pretty valuable, like the 99 GSXs and shit. I've seen those on Bring a Trailer for, dude, crazy money. Yeah. And they had a great interior, but here's my thing. They don't build that shit anymore. You can't even get it, dude. You cannot get, neat shit. You know what I mean? Like new cars. Old ones either, but yeah, you can't. I agree. They're all rotted. They're all rotted, man. It sucks. It completely sucks. But it's just like, I guess that's the times. But what are these people buying? I mean, affordable new cars don't exist. So, what do you think about auto parts stores? Do you think they're circling the drain? Yeah, I do. And you know what? It's witnessed by the fact that First Brands or whatever that owns fucking Ray Bestos and all these other companies, I think Cardone, they're Chapter 11 right now. I think auto parts is going to be a big problem because no one's going to manufacture them in the U.S. China's going to be the only place, and the quality is going to get even worse, and it's already bad. It's already bad, dude. We're screwed. Nissan 200SX reminds me of the 98 Sentra my dad had when I was a kid. I would totally buy a 200SX if I saw one. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's basically a 2-door Sentra. The cool thing about them was that the SER, both are cool. There was two versions. There was like a 1.8 with 115 horse, then the SER with 140. And it's revvy and it's fun. It's only 2,500 pounds with 140 horse, so 0 to 60 in like mid-ish to high sevens. Crazy good gas mileage, 32 average per tank. I'm getting with that thing. And it's rust free. It does have like kind of a light like dent in the quarter in the rear. Like it's just like someone brushed up against something, but it's not bad. It's rust free though. Everyone says I overpaid for that. I paid $4,500, but dude, it's excellent service history, long-term ownership. Like I love that car. Yeah, I was actually looking for one for a long time before I even saw one. Done with anything about 2012. I think that's fair. Most stuff that was engineered after the recession is GM shit with the lifters. There's one thing, 87 Sentra and 88 Sentra. I love that era. The B13 cars, the earliest SERs are sick. MX-5 2.5. Okay, I like that. So I know what we're talking about here. The sister car of the Probe, a little bit classier. Because obviously, I mean, the Probe was derived from it. It was all Mazda. But that 2.5, that KLZ, or I don't know, that's the Japanese one. But that V6, that's a rev-happy, geared right. Dude, that's a fun car. Those V6 Probe GTs are fun, too. I had a couple of those and a lot of seat time in others. I'm with you. MX6 2.5 manual, compromise for the RX-7. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. 87 was on 5 stars. Of course it was. Of course it was. 98 Sentra was a mistake and ended up being my first car. Yeah. I mean, that era of Nissan was peak Nissan, dude. In the MX6, and yeah, 100%, dude. MX6 was the shit. Yeah, I mean, basically, I think those MX6s are fantastic looking cars, especially the interiors of them. The exteriors are great too, nice and sleek. But dude, those are like legit 140 mile an hour cars. I know the Probe GTs were like 140 to 143 in V6 form. Like they're geared right and they make good power. And the Japanese KLZE version, those were 200 horse. And I mean, you can get your hands on one if you want one, but every Nissan has a hard body. Well, back then the trucks, man, those Nissan hard body trucks are the shit. Always wonder why car companies don't keep making older models with demand is high. So, good question. It's like keeping up with the Joneses. Here's the thing: car manufacturers don't build what you want. They build what they want you to want, and they build what's profitable and try to market it to you in a way that makes it appealing. Why do you think John Cena has the new Honda Prelude? We all know that hybrid piece of shit is garbage, but John Cena has a Prelude. Like, that's just a way to try to market it, but they want to steer you into, basically they want to say, we know what you want better than you. This is what we're going to make. Hey, when the Fox body Mustang was done and the SN95 came out, people hated that car. No one liked it. I mean, it was like they tried to advertise it as retro styling. We all loved the Foxes. I was only 10 and I was disgusted. But, that's just the way it is. And I mean, honestly, it's just an obsolescence thing. If they keep making the older models, whatever, when they make new models and refreshes, it drives down the value of the old cars. And that's what they want. They just, I don't know. Their interests and our interests are different. That's all there is to it, man. But hard body Nissans, bro, Ben. Here's one. Early Pathfinders with the V6 and a stick, like a two-door Pathfinder, bro, with the hard body style, with the fat fender flares. Whew. That's a unit that I also would keep my eye out for sure. That's actually, it's tough. Like, I don't ever really want to replace the XJ, but like a two-door manual Pathfinder might give it a run for its money. Those are a timing belt and they need serviced, but it's not expensive to do. You can still get good parts from like Gates and shit. So, wood Bronco 2s. I know, Ben, you got to be with Bronco 2s, Ben. Come on. 2.9 manual Bronco 2, like one of the end of the road ones in Eddie Bauer. That's the shit. I don't care. That's forever the shit. That's always going to be good. And like, you can't get them. These are all cars I always look for. Like, that's pretty much, we're just going on the rabbit hole. These are all cars I look for. Pathfinders I look for, hard bodies I look for. The Montero is cool. I don't know much about the Mitsubishi Montero driveline. They do look cool. You can't forget about the Bronco 2. Listen, they got like a weird rap, but you got to remember, they had an awesome turning radius, super short wheelbase, cool interior layout. Like, the Bronco 2s were good. The Broncos are cool, man. They're just cool. They've aged well. They have that really traditional body style, and they don't build anything like it anymore. A little full frame truck. I mean, they're small. Like, when I park my XJ next to shit, it's tiny. I park it next to a guy at work. He's got a Jeep Patriot, and my Cherokee looks small compared to the Patriot. As a matter of fact, I think the Patriot sits up just a little bit higher. V6 stick Bronco too, man. I mean, bone stock with a little pizza cutter 215 or whatever the hell tires on it. I would rock that shit. I wish I lived in a dry state. So bad. So damn bad. I don't know. It is what it is, though, man. Yeah, 91, 92 Explorers. I had a 91, a first-year Explorer with a 4-liter automatic, black red interior, comfortable, lots of power, lots of torque. I mean, dude, I loved it. It was very comfortable. And then the 5-liter stuff later, you got the GT40 and the GT40P 5 liters. Those were all roller. Every 5.0 Explorer was a roller. So those are just great. Mountaineers, same thing. Honestly, all right, here's another one I've been looking at, and there's one local. It's probably too much money. First car you bought for the family. No shit. Great vehicles, man. They used to be everywhere. Here's one I've been looking at, And I do actively look for these. They're hard to find. They're weird to price. They're a weird market. Dakota 5.9 RTs. So they're 245 to 250 horse, depending on the year, 345 foot-pounds of torque. I think they had a factory 355 rear end. They're all posi. They got 255 section with 17s on them. I mean, the only thing that's kind of weak on them is the trans. But there's one around here. It's in Battle Creek. It's really nice looking. It's black, though. I don't love black as much, but it looks pretty nice. It's like $9,000 or something like that, 9 or 10 grand. So it's kind of a lot. But like, it looks really clean, but it is an honest 100,000 mile vehicle. It's just like, it's in good shape. And I don't know, man. It's just like, but one thing I do know is they get dog shit gas mileage. Like, I mean, they have overdrive, but they've got 355s. I don't know why they get dog shit gas mileage. Like, 5.9 Magnum's a killer motor, though, but they get, bro, I think I'm not even kidding. I think they're rated at like 16 or 17 highway, maybe. It's like 11 city, 16 or 17 highway. Like, they're really bad. But they are 87 octane, so it's not a big deal. I mean, wood, 10 out of 10 wood. But I don't want to spend 10 grand for it, though. I'd buy a C4 Corvette because you know me. I can't help it. Too cheap. I'm too cheap for 2026. That's my biggest problem. You know what I mean? Like, the middle class is poor now. I remember I like got up into the middle class and I was like, went back down. I don't know what happened. I'm glad I have a house, thank God, for affordable housing, you know. I mean, Jesus Christ. Silver slash stripes on the side. Yeah. I don't know, man. The RT 5.9s are just, they're sick. Do you remember the Shelby Durangos? The what they call that? SP360. No. Was it SP360? Shelby Durango? They made those? Or the Celine XPs, obviously, the Explorers, dude. But I do kind of fucking want that Shelby Dakota. Low key, there's a guy who's really interested in my Fox body for like 17 grand. And I'm tempted to let him buy it because that means I can sell the car hauler, but I love that car so much. I don't think I could ever be happy with anything else. I don't think I could. Even though that seems like I'd make a little bit of money, like for once in my life, like I'll just miss it and want another one, and then I'll have to spend more to get another one. It's not even worth it. I'm pretty much done selling shit. I just want to accumulate shit. Now that I don't have a car payment, you know, I'm not being bogged down by fucking debt. I agree. Foxes are only going to get dumber in price. I mean, they're just so freaking expensive. But it's the nostalgia, man. That's obviously all it is. You know, but I mean, look at the muscle car prices, though. Those are kind of like, I mean, wavering. I feel like people are struggling to get that muscle car money anymore. Such a fat bitch, dude. Just eyeballing Taco Bell. Just sitting here like live streaming eyeballing Taco Bell. I gotta stop. All right. Well, it's been fun, guys. I guess I better go. I better get around. It's like 9:45. It's been really fun, honestly. This is my first time going live. Companies are making Foxes from scratch, 200 grand. I believe it, dude. Like Dynacorn, they make bodies for those first gen Mustangs. Those are expensive. They're big money, and I think they're made like Taiwan. It's like, I don't know about all that. I don't want to spend that kind of money on Taiwanese shit. Everything's so expensive. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. This was fun, man. Yeah, we'll do another live sometime. This was just kind of spontaneous, but this has been fun with you guys. Well, maybe I'll structure it better next time, but I appreciate that. It's cool to hang out too, Jimmy. Night Palm Doctor. I'll have a video coming soon. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, you guys all have fun. You too, Ben. I'll catch you sometime soon, bro. And yeah, all right, guys. Thanks for being here. And we'll try to make this a regular thing. I'll try to schedule it out. But have fun, man.